traveling has never been this simple in the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSC depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or upcountry routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. Nsila ID soto.
Sorry. I get it.
Bijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariya. Mbare ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolong labe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kono kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannam number 1 di nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi ma ni domorol dil fana be teat. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moy o diat ha.
Apelenta
baraka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji.
Yalo bu kanyi la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Baraka.
Jah Oil is Gambia's leading dealer when it comes to fuel and has made it a duty to satisfy our customers at all costs. Vehicle owners and drivers need not to worry about getting quality and affordable fuel anymore. That is the reason we have our branches spread all over the country for easy access. For good and clean fuel, the only place to go is Jah Oil. Your need for good and durable petrol, gasoline and kerosene has been covered by Jah Oil, so you need not to worry. Walk to any of our branches and get served to satisfaction. With Jah Oil, your satisfaction is our priority. That is why we have branches at your doorstep to make accessibility easy for you. With our professional and friendly staff, we can assure you satisfaction. To get the best fuel for your engines, the only place to go is Jah Oil. With Jah Oil, it's all enjoyment. That is why we are offering you low charges at our stations on the Coastal Road in Banjul. For more information, you can call 770-8080, 322-9070, 714-7273, or 387-1321. Jah Oil, the pride of the nation.
We'll take a look, of course, at national current issues, as well as, of course, Senegal, because a major political crisis, if you like, or development has just erupted last night in our neighboring country. What are the implications for that country and the Gambia? We will try to explore and give you perspectives on that. And, like I said, other things that happen in the political front in the Gambia. We'll also take a look at sports, particularly football. The Gambia Football Federation will go into elective congress in August, and for the first time, the entire management will have to go after enacting term limits, which means, of course, those who served for 2 terms will not be able to contest again. And that's what Kaba Bayo and his administration did, so they are not contesting. That means in August, before the 31st, or not later than the 31st, because we are going to have a new GFF president and his or her team. Well, let's say his team, because I have not known of any female aspirants so far.
Not yet.
We will come face to face with one of the aspirants, Musa Jammeh, Colonel in the army. And if you want to know everything that Musa has for football, please stick around for the last part of the program. For this part though, like I said, and Senegal. And with me in the studio to do that, well, makers, Sait Matty comes from the Civic Society, and Dodou Jah is a politician. Now I think he's with the governing National People's Party. But then he is, I like him for one thing, he's a commentator that looks at objectively, on all concerning the public affairs of the Gambia. Mr. Jah and Mr. Joe, thank you very much for coming to the brunch. All right, let me take you, Sait, you have not been here for long. You have been listening or following political developments in the Gambia. I'm going to take a look at 2 things. There is the emergence of Unite movement, political movement, which was officially, well, they had a congress and a rally, and there were talking points created from that. Also, the opposition are already busy and talks for a possible coalition. Meanwhile, the NPP, or let's say President Barrow, has been out and about inaugurating projects that the opposition called propaganda projects or propaganda missions. I don't know whether Mr. Jah will agree to that. So those 3 are happening. And then, of course, Senegal last night. President Diomaye Faye and Prime Minister Sonko, well, finally have now ended their relationship in government, at least, with the announcement that Prime Minister Sonko has been fired. What are the implications for that country and ours? Because, of course, we are very close to Senegal. So, Sait, may I begin by asking you, what do you think of Unite movement? One of the latest political movement that has just been flexing its muscle.
Yeah. Congratulations. I think they've done I saw what they call it, their congress. And I've also been following in terms of the debate, whether it's a political party, it's not a political party. But for them, I think it's been very clear that they're still a movement until they get the formal registration from IEC. And I think their comment also has raised. I don't know. It has increased the temperature in the political.
Oh, okay.
In the political atmosphere. being behind the scene and listening, you see, one of the things that I enjoy, following is the way that they've been building within a very short period until they get to where they are. And I think for me that is commendable, but also is showing growingly that Gambians are interested in partisan politics, whether, inside or outside. People are organizing, and you see new people that are coming in as well. What are they going to contribute, whether it will make any headway. I mean, they have to be tested. It has to be seen. But I think it's a welcoming development for me. As a citizen, people are free to associate, to create new organizations, to do whatever they have to do within the parameters of the law. And I think for me, it's just another political player coming into the field, and of course, it's going to be interesting as well, moving towards 2026, December 2026.
From your objective, neutral analysis, did you think they looks like a great force? Because if you talk to their opponents, they will say, oh, these are just... if you talk to them themselves, they will say, oh, we're going to be the biggest political force in December or by December.
Yeah,
so from a neutral point of view...
there are two things. If you want to be a biggest political force, you have to build it. You have to build it. It's something that you have to do. To build it, to get people. But this also have to do with... Because quite a lot of Gambians are also part of political parties. Of course, based on our surveys, you also see that it's like 50-50. 50 are members of political parties and others are not members of political parties. But you have political parties that have been grounded, that have tested, that have been here. So it means that they have a lot of work to do because they are new. And when you are new in Gambia, people will give you a listening ear, but they will start waiting that hopefully nothing will will change their direction. But they have to be part of that. They have to keep building, and the way they are going, the trajectory is very positive in terms of having like structures across. What they're doing the right thing so far. But of course, you as a political party, you are one thing, but the other thing is the people. How much people are coming into you. And
how have you been? Following the reception from the public. Did you see a massive appreciation, or you've seen a lot of misgivings expressed by people about them?
Well, I mean, there are still, debates, because of the history also. Most of them, they migrated from where they come from. So that is going to be part of the conversation, and that's going to shape United's, trajectory as well. I mean, but it's part of the conversation, and it's similar with NPP. When Barrow left also, it was the same conversation, and NPP is there. So for the United, is something that they have to continue to do. They have to build, but in Gambia here, yes, people will see you, will welcome you, but to trust, that has to continue. It's not like just because we are here, so people will follow you. It's not going to be like that.
So they still have a lot of...
Yeah, they have work to do. They have to convince people. They have to come up with a manifesto. They have to get registered as well, because I also see people, it's a movement, but people also like parties. You have to be registered,
yes.
Like you follow the law, and when that happens, perhaps that will also see some other changes. But for me, what I see in terms of the way that they are building, starting with the movement, is a good trajectory. And NPP started like that. APRC started with 22nd movement. So I mean, you can see in terms of parties that have come to power, perhaps is a possibility until
Do you see them as any possible, let's say, strongest, because as they claim they would be the strongest challenger to the Barrow's, let's say the biggest threat to Barrow's ambition to stay in power?
Well, I mean, even the one with even 2 votes will say like, I'm going to win the election. For me, that's one of the things I like with politicians. I mean, everybody will have the confidence that they're going to win the election. But at the end of the day, for me, it's what the people will decide. But what I will say at this moment is like they are still building. I mean, they have to continue to build. December, some will say, well, it's too early. Some are expecting them next year or, next election. But if it is a party that wants to stay, is a party that must, do the real work. And for me, as a political party, you should not be built for one particular election. You should be built for the future. And if that is the way that they are thinking, I mean, this might not be. They might not be a big threat, because what people are also talking about is the need for coalition. Okay. And so this 2026, we might see coalitions contesting on those bases.
How about the registration process? You've been the supplementary registration voter period.
Ended, yes,
2 days ago.
On the 24th, I guess.
Yes. You've been following, there have been a lot of altercations, dramatic, sometimes push and pulls, allegations flying left and right center. Mostly, it is the NPP that get accused of trying to register non-Gambians and minors. Although in one case we had an official of Unite also been dragged to police on similar allegations. How did you follow?
Yeah, I've been following the news. I've been following the trajectory, accusations and counter accusations. But we've also been, this is not very new in terms of our political process. Political parties will always be like that. Despite the fact that they have their inter-party and all those different stuff. But when it comes to running elections, there's always that element, which is also fair, because everybody must hold the process accountable. But there's also a way that you follow and then you monitor the process. But I think what is also creating this whole issue of mistrust, I will say it like a mistrust issue, is because of the way that our electoral system is still. Like you use the attestation, you use all those different, and we've argued as civil society for a very long time that this can create problems. So we need to remove those things. We all know that thing needs to be removed, but it's still in the laws. So sometimes sometimes for me, I want what can be removed rather than coming and started complaining about those issues. If I create opportunity for people to cheat, of course they will try to cheat the system. Of course, it's also important that others are there to hold people accountable. One of the things I like about all these different issues is that political parties are trying to hold each other accountable. At least that is also going to save us from when we talk, they say, oh, you belong here or you don't belong there. But they are doing it among themselves, which I also think is also good for our political process. But at the end of the day, we have to sanitize the laws, we have to sanitize the system, and that was the essence of having this new electoral act. But unfortunately, we went so many validations, we argued about it, attestation, but what will political parties say? Hey, if you don't do it, other people will not be able to register. And for me, it was very few political parties that you will hear say, we want the attestation removed, but majority wanted that. And then so when it comes and it creates problems, so it's a problem that we have to face. For me, that's the way I see this issue. All these things that we are saying is just the signs and symptoms of something that we were supposed to do and we did not do.
We did not do it, which is to make the registration.
Yeah, but of course now we have the registration. So if you notice that somebody is not qualified, we expect that the next stage is the revising court. So people have to be ready for those kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Last time there was the whole this debate and the revising court came. Yeah. One case you don't even hear. Okay. So we use not about just on the social media and talking about this one is doing this. You go to the revising court and bring the cases that you have and then take it to the court, and then so nothing is final until the court says, well, this is the final list, and so for me I think those are the things. If you have anyone that you suspect, when the thing comes up, go to the revising court and ensure that you bring the complaint. For me those are the ways that we have a democratic process or an electoral process that is very noise, you cannot say noise free, but at least a reduced that kind of noise.
Exactly. Right, I'll put similar questions to Dodou Jah from the NPP. Jah, were you shaken and let's say shocked by the supposed might of Unite when you saw them on the 16th May when they came out for Congress and rally? You've been, of course, you may be from the NPP, but if I ask you sincerely, how do you see their activity on that day? Do they represent a mighty force as they claim they are?
Well, of course they did. It's nothing that has caught me by surprise.
Really?
I would say yes. It's what I expected. I frequent to places across this country. I go to places where I've seen Unite motorbikes.
Motorbikes?
Where I least expected. And being a politician, I know what motorbikes could do.
Oh, really?
They can
so motorbikes are important.
They can travel faster than vehicles. They can go to places where cars cannot at a very, fast pace, and they can reach out to so many people. So that's one of the uses. When people see political parties giving motorbikes, they don't know the reason why. But it is used for mobilization. It is used for coordinating. It is used for reaching out to people. It is used for campaigning. It is used for selling your agenda. More important even than the vehicle.
So you saw we had motorbikes where you didn't expect.
Yes, because our dynamics of politics in this country, the system is grassroots. Whoever penetrates that grassroots will be able to bring people together. Without doubt. It's not going to the media. It's important. You go to the media, you sell your agenda, but it does not reach the grassroots. That is the fact. They don't even have access to internet. Some of them, when they do, they're busy with other issues. Rather than listen to Dodou Jah talking about NPP or talking about politics, they will choose to go to TikTok, listen to music, etc. But if you come in passing, that sort of communication yields more result than when you want to incline to the radio and the internet and all that. The people who will be listening, calling you, said you did well. They are a minority. But those on the ground, you need to reach out to them.
So you mean Unite try to do that?
They've established structures at a very short span.
Really?
Why I said it would not be a separate, they're not new in the game. They're from political parties.
They are
UDP, APRC, GDC, NPP. It's like a collection of different political parties coming together to create something new. So they already know the trend.
So
they were connected before. It's just like pressing that button that will get you connected again. You know where to tread, you know where to go. And messaging, it's very important. And one thing for sure, that's what their leader is very good at. You have to give him that credit. He's not into the political space like what they call this Defante syndrome. No. He's selling out a message. And he knows that, okay, these people, they belong to NPP, they belong to UDP, they belong to PDOIS, they belong to GDC. How do I get them? You don't follow the same trajectory that others are doing. You need to be strategic. You need to come with a plan. You need to tell them something that would draw their attention. If everybody is making the same noise, people are not bothered. You need to create a different sound. They'll say, okay, what is this one? You need to do
so even that is what they are leading.
Politics is strategy. It's not about, give me the opportunity, I will build the health center, I will build this, I will empower. These are nothing new. Everybody says that. One is different.
I see.
That's one thing that they have.
So there are organizational structures on the ground, and their messaging, you think,
of course,
it puts them in a good trajectory.
There are political parties who have emerged in this country for far too long. They've never had a congress of that magnitude. Why UMC? Planning, strategy, commitment, confidence.
And they are a movement.
Exactly. Yet to be a political party. And look at the rally. How many political parties can achieve that? They've been here for years. They've tested the waters, but they cannot achieve what UMC have achieved. So as a politician, if you brush that aside, no, this is this, you don't do that. These are pointers, they are alarms, they alert you. And you have to go back and see, what do I do better? What do I do more compared to them? It's a matter of, like more of a horse race.
But is it pomposity when they said, we are going to be the biggest political movement in September? Are they being pompous, or you think they're really serious about it?
No, in politics, you don't call that pomposity, because they're already proving it. And they're trying to reassure their people and the Gambians that what you see, we can get better than this. Come on board. It's more of selling your message.
They're selling.
Knowing the reality is they can't be. They can't be. But target. That's what they are pushing for. So it's strategy. Politics is not only about coming to the media saying what you want to say. People heard you well. Next. And as a leader, when you speak, move people. Not only they've understood the message, but are they willing to work with you? Are they willing to give you the support you need? That's where the competition lies. But listen to most of them. All they do is attack government. There's corruption in this country. No is working. This has been said for many decades, and it has never made anybody president.
So even the focus should be a new message.
Now look at Talib. He said, "I'm not going to attack President Barrow. I will not disrespect him."
Yeah.
Now people would want to say, "Okay, then what are you going to tell us?"
Yeah.
Strategy.
Yeah, that's
Now anything you're saying, they will build interest. They will know that you're not here for deaf and take.
Yeah.
But somebody who come and tells you our president is not learned, people knows that, but they vote for him.
Yeah.
You feel you are learned, they will not give you the votes. Because it's like you want to counter a system to be president.
I see.
Nobody wins elections like that.
And people will say you are talking so sympathetic
No, not actually.
Unite cause.
I say it as it is.
I know.
And
I know
most
you.
of the people
They
will
all
say,
know you.
what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But if I give you issues, you find it on the ground.
Yeah.
I go to places and I see Unite Motorbike. How about other parties? I don't see any sign or symbol that would reflect that they are here. But for them, there's visibility.
Yeah.
Like you take umbrellas to these women, hawkers selling in the street. You think it's only trying to cover you from the sun and provide shade. When people see that picture, there's something that runs in their mind. So strategically, they know what they are doing. Give them the credit. You don't downplay people when they are doing well. No, accept that. You can say they are good, but I am better. But accept that they are good.
Wow, that's a good point.
This is a good politician.
Of course.
You know, you must be able to analyze your context, your environment.
No, the facts are there. If you downplay it, people will see it and they're lying.
The same line, Hamad Bao of NIP, which is part of the NPP Grand Alliance, said this in one rally, that you know what? The biggest threat we have is not coming from UDP or other parties, is the Unite. He said. And I understand that a lot of people were unhappy with that because they think he was promoting. He's promoting, giving credit where he's not due. But then it looks like he's making his point. What he really said.
One thing for Ahmad, he's a good politician. He's been in the game for far too long. And he's explored avenues. He's gone campaigning around this country. He has contested the presidency. He has been in parliament. He deals with grassroots up till today. So when Ahmad tells you something, he knows what he's saying. But not all politicians will welcome what you say. But at the end of the day, the realities are there. You're striking a balance. We want to remove this government, but we're not also the opposition on the ground. They're creating like a third force, something different.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Now, just look at the name itself. Are they reflecting based on the party? I can guarantee that. But if you see what reflects, what is happening on the ground, there is a difference compared to what is on the ground. I might not raise certain alarms. I will be doing them a favor. I will reserve those.
Does it have to do with like the pragmatism, or let's say the charisma of the candidate, or maybe people will say the money, the financial muscle they have? What is pushing them? Do you think people generally accepted the charisma of the leader, or the organizational skills of the people around him, or, well, he has the financial money all around, and people naturally will be attracted to that?
Now,
what do you think?
To prove a point in that, when I talk about strategy, Unite themselves might not like what I'm saying. It's more of I'm trying to
expose.
It's a discussion here.
I hope they will.
What I want to reflect here is during the supplementary voter registration.
Yes.
I go around Serekonaves, and I've been to few other places based on my own observation. They are at every registration center, Unite. Under the name APP Sobea. It's like I know Sait belonging to a political party, and I go to registration center. I see Sait there under another party's name.
Because they are not registered.
They are yet registered, so they don't qualify to serve as agents. So they're using APP Sobea. Their partnership is there so that their people will be on the ground. Why are they there? Data. They need data. And this data will help them to know in every strategic area what is available and what strategy do we use to conquer. How many political parties are doing that? I go to these registration centers, I see NPP, UDP, APP, Sobea, Stroke, Unite. I don't see other political parties. Even though you're not putting up a candidate, that data is important.
You should be interested.
If not today, but tomorrow, it will guide you.
Exactly.
Now, look at the surveys when they come out. People make a lot of noise. I said, no, these are pointers. pointers. They're making you data readily available for you to explore and strategize. Why do you fuss about it? Even if it's not on your it's not favorable to you. These are pointers. You know what you've done right. You know what are your challenges. So the data obviously is giving you a path. How to tread that path. And Unite is at every registration center. Within Sarakunawes, I don't know the areas. Their presence is there. Do they have the candidate? No, but they need the data. And there are forms that it is prepared by them. How do I know? I engage the IEC officials. Is this form from the IEC? They said no. If it was from the IEC, it will have our name and logo. But those forms doesn't have that.
But what kind of forms are you talking about?
It's like a daily sheet forms, whereby you fill in the first voter card, the number, the last one, how many male, how many female, how many people did replacement. Yes. That's the data you need. So they are not just bluffing, they know what they're doing. Obviously they know. But how many politicians are into that, studying what they're doing, understanding where they're heading to. So it's not like they're bluffing. So that's why I said I'm not surprised, see what they're achieving. And more it's coming. It's not like if they're doing it, what is stopping you from doing this?
Because
nobody owns the people.
Look, so you are right in the sense that they brought a novelty in terms of politics.
Exactly.
They're interested in every twist and every turn.
Yes. Because if not today, tomorrow they will need it. That's what data can give you. And even if something new comes up, you can contrast, you can compare and see what has changed, what is different.
Okay, before I go back to you, I'm not exhausted the similar. Do you think that given what you have said and your impression of them, your candid impression of them, do you see them as a threat to the NPP?
They are a threat to the NPP. They are a threat to the opposition. You don't rule that out. They have one ambition, how to remove the government. So obviously, whether they are big or small, they are a threat. Because what they are capable of doing, there are so many ways what they can do. I won't pinpoint. Again, it will be favorable to them. I'll leave that sleeping dog to lie. I'll leave that sleeping dog to lie. Now, on the opposition, they are also a threat. Because if I am an opposition, people think it's me. Sait pops up, I might share with Sait. So what I was able to have 50 could reduce to 30. So they are a threat even to the opposition because they are not selling the same agenda like the opposition. They have one goal in common: remove the government of the day. But how? Different in strategy. Are they there to endorse other political parties? I don't foresee that, based on many reasons. They cannot just come and surrender to any coalition and alliance and say, we are behind you. It will hit big and hard on the movement itself, due to so many factors.
So you don't expect Unite to play cannon fodder to any political movement?
They can do that, but it will have consequences based on how the fraction came about within the UDP, bringing Unite on board. Now, if you happen to go and endorse others, why leave the UDP in the first place?
So that would be a logical question. But don't you think there is no scenario where Unite may bury their ego, I mean, within the coalition context, if Usain Dabo of UDP is finally selected as flag bearer? You can't see United leader accepting that, given the rowdy divorce they had. Or you think they are capable of, eating their ego and say, you know what, okay, the objective is to remove the president. Okay, we have a movement. They know, they respect us, they know our capacity, but look, here is an opportunity, let's go for it. Whatever happens. Do you think United doing that?
That will be very difficult, very, very challenging. When you create a fraction from a party, to amalgamate again, to bring the two together, there will be lack of trust. So many things in play.
In nature or
exactly. That's why it's like endorsing others and folding your hands, which is not good for them. Now, if you want to wait for after the emergence of that to build something again big and better, you'll have challenges, you'll have obstacles. You lose so many of your people within that coalition or alliance. And for them, they will come and pick the best out of you who are not conflicted with what happened earlier. So either way, you will lose something big. You will lose something.
What about the other way around? Let's flip it down. If the coalition process ended in the selection of Talib Bensouda as flag bearer, do you think UDP will even more mad with that decision than any other thing.
That is not happening. You know, the problem is when
Well, you cannot say it's not happening because the process, they want us to believe that anybody can come out as the flag bearer.
Well,
that's what they want us to believe.
As politicians, if you say, let's meet together, we discuss, it's easy. But when it comes to who leads, that's where the problem is.
But the fact is, they tend to, the talks seem to be a little bit more longer than the people expected. So is there any hope that people think it was just going to be one Saturday and then, of course...
Parties don't want to take the blame that I am the obstacle to the coalition. They will play along. But when it comes to leadership, that's when excuses will come. And I did not accept because of A. I rejected this because of B. People will come with reasons.
What they told us, the coalition...
And politicians have so many reasons.
What they told us, the coalition builders, or rather, you know, there's a committee they call Committee Task Force Committee for Coalition Talks, or whatever they call it. They want us to believe that they are starting with the framework that is definitely going to bind everybody. So that by the time they select a candidate, everyone will feel to be part of it, or you will be seen to be the black sheep.
Well, it's nothing new. It's just history repeating itself.
2016, yeah.
And all this, like they call it gentleman agreement. Is it in line with our laws? Of course not. Most of, like if you go to our laws, it's not addressing politics. What is addressing politics is with the electoral laws. Does it highlight about coalitions and all this? No. It's not in the electoral laws. It can give you the playing field.
Yeah.
Now, whatever you decide, there is gentleman agreement. No matter how you call it, no matter what you've written, sign it, stamp it, hang it up there. It's not binding as a law in this country. When the new government is ushered in, they cannot stick to that. People will challenge you and tell you the law says this. You go to court, they will side with the law, not with your gentleman agreement. These are facts that they need to accept.
So all this twaddle about we're not going to accept the Barrow coalition style. So they just...
That's why I said history repeating itself. It depends on how you're going to do it this time. But you cannot, it's not out of that box. It's still in that box. And after that, maybe we'll come to that when we shift to Senegal. You see, the practicality is always, at the end of the day, the law is the law. Good or bad, it is the law. If we want it better, like say this highlighting, let's change the law. That's what I always advocate for. As bad as the law is, it is the law. We have to accept that that is the law. We cannot say, okay, the law is not good. Now I want to play my own fiddle into what I believe is best. Somebody else does, somebody else does. This is sometimes what we see with even some people in activism. No, this public order act, we're not going to accept it. What are you going to accept? Something that gives you freedom, liberty, it's at ease with you. Somebody else doesn't see it that way. At the end of the day, we'll clash in the streets. Now, if we go back, they'll tell you this is what the law says. So the solution is changing the law. That would favor everybody. But you cannot say the law is not good, I'm not going to accept it. No good citizen should do that. Instead, advocate, fight for reforms. What would change that law? Make it best for everybody. But if you see things differently, because you are an activist, I see things differently, I'm a politician, he sees things different because he's a businessman. So what type of society are we building? Every man for himself. Then what's the importance of the legislature? What is the importance of the judiciary? What is the importance of the security? It's like we left them hanging in the balance without much to do. And at the end of the day, they can use force and say, because for them also the law has provided sections for them, giving them authority. They will exercise it. And it will affect our democracy.
Exactly. So now, the coalition people people building the coalition said, the leader of your party, the NPP, Barrow, fears a coalition. He fears. That's why he's going out and talking about, okay, let them put my father, as leader. Or maybe why didn't they come individually to face me? Why are they going to come together if they know if they can dare me? So they said the president is confused and afraid of the coalition building. How confident is he?
From 2016 to date, Barrow has been talking.
Yes.
People are listening to Barrow. They're getting a message that Barrow is speaking. That's all. But they're not analyzing his speeches.
Really?
They're not going back in time to say what he said yesterday. What has he yielded today? Barrow is a technician when it comes to politics. He's a political technician.
Oh, really?
He knows what to
He's got
say.
a lot of experience.
When to say it, where to say it, he leaves people running with certain messages while he focuses on something different.
Really?
I wouldn't say what he will focus on.
You know,
These things are internal.
It caused a lot of controversy recently.
Look at it at the, in the past. He would just say one sentence. And the whole of social media, bantabas at the market, everybody's discussing that. Yeah. But when you meet Barrow, he's not worried about what he said. Barrow is at another level, he's doing something different. He keeps people busy arguing over issues, and he's walking the walk. They've not seen this trend. How many things have Barrow said? You don't see him implement anything. It's just like he's throwing a jab.
Are you saying he promised and he not implement?
No, not promise. He knows what to tell them, to keep them busy, hitting heads, while he has a plan that he's executing.
Somewhere.
It's just like, let me give you an example. 2019 at our Bukarali, I said so many things about the government, about Barrow. When I said I joined the NPP, people are sharing these videos.
Yes, what ahead?
Is Barrow worried about that? No. I think if anybody should be affected, it should be him. But these are things he does not even discuss.
Well, he actually said you can say something when you are campaigning.
When he wants something, he goes for it.
Okay.
And he does not think about the past. And unlike the opposition, whatever you say or do, they will tie a rope around your neck and they will be pulling it. Look at the people around him. They said this yesterday, they attacked Barrow. Today they are closer, he's laughing with them.
Yeah,
he's strategizing with them. That's
you have to say that he's
tolerance.
very, very tolerant.
Tolerance. That's the point.
His biggest virtue.
And like I always tell people, the Barrow you see at political meetings, rallies, behind the mic, and the Barrow in person is very different. That's why I said he knows what to say, where to say it, and when to say it.
But of late he has made what people say are gaffes. When he recently, of course, I saw the APRC people are mad with him for saying that the APRC government people used to fake projects, in the run-up to elections. When elections are won, they take along those things. Okay. He said that the APRC are very mad. So sometimes you could say that cannot be strategy.
No, strategy.
No, that cannot be strategy.
Okay.
Because obviously APRC are sitting next to him.
Yes.
And then he said something about that. Look at them. I had the audios. They are very mad with him.
Yeah, some of them.
But important people.
From yesterday and today, some who were mad are speaking differently. They've now understood the game. Some are telling them he's not attacking APRC but Jammeh. He's not attacking he's not attacking APRC as a party but in governance. I'm telling you the strategy in the
offended, my friend.
Let me help you. What is at play here?
Yes.
The APRC is in alliance.
Yes.
But the NATO alliance is not.
Yes.
And the NATO alliance, there's coalition engagement talks.
Yes.
A lot of fingers being pointed at them.
Yes.
What is their stance? Barrow will shake them. Now, he has said something thrown within them. The alliance, if they complain, go and listen to the NATO alliance. Now, they will be divided. Do they agree with Barrow or are they not?
I saw it.
It will shake them. They will not be intact, sitting and waiting. They will take sides.
I saw one.
Is it here or there?
Commentator who said, oh, okay, you haven't seen anything yet. We told you this man is
so for them,
you haven't seen anything yet.
They are looking at that angle. I am telling you,
So
Barrow
you mean
is a technician when it comes to politics. He knows what he is doing. And certain words that he tells you, he look at the reaction of the people. Now, he will play his cards very well.
Really?
And a lot of things will shake. Just wait before election. We might come back here and you'll see what would develop from the NATO alliance.
Oh, really?
It will be very different. Now, the NATO alliance, from what Barrow is saying, you'll be able to know, will they have their own candidate? Are they joining the coalition? What is their stance with Barrow? Are they doing anything with the APRC for reconciliation? And he has shaking them. It's like throwing something at them, and at a distance he's watching what moves they are going to take.
See these politicians, the way they run us.
It's technique. Sometimes those out there in the public, for them, the word is too harsh. But sometimes it's a necessity. There's something you going after. There's something you trapping.
Well, many people thought that was not strategy because the APRC people reacted. Said, well, the president
Barrow has said things
under the boss, and
Barrow has said things that has angered people in the when we were an opposition. How many times did Barrow said Jammeh will never be president in this country again?
But he meant that.
No, saying that and criticizing project, calling it fake, which is worse.
I think
with whatever the Noto Alliance is doing is to make Jammeh president again. Me, I will feel more offended if you, at the time you tell me Jammeh will never be president in this country. I'll feel more offended than talking about projects, no matter how you label it. The realities are on the ground. People will see it and say, this belongs to Jammeh. So you saying it is not changing it. It's the mindset.
So the people in the APRC felt that they are not respected in the because when they say they are not respected in the NPP alliance. And this is not the first time they've been saying that.
This is what I'm telling you.
But this time they are blaming Barrow for himself coming there. They used to say people surrounding Barrow. But this sort of speech in Base Wanyani seemed to have been directly from Barrow. That's why they feel very uncomfortable.
Now, I will go back to when Batambedu was the justice minister. The things Batambedu said, Barrow never said.
That if Jammeh comes here, he's going to be prison.
Yes, we'll arrest him. And you heard the responses at the time. That's what we're saying. If they try that, the airport will come down. Are you hearing those responses now? No. It's taking different.
No, it's because APRC have changed. I mean, it was Fabakar who was fearlessly defending.
Yes.
Now he does not defend Barrow Jammeh anymore.
Exactly. That's why I said the people more affected is the North Alliance. What is their next move?
Okay. So
you have to shake it.
I see.
Let them make movements. Sometimes, let's take if there's a herd of cattle. When the lion comes, the hyena, they don't jump straight into the cattle. They'll try to circle them, create an attention. When they scatter and run, they'll look for the weakest point to attack.
And then they'll look so they can. You see, this is what I tell them. Like for me,
but
I'm never
if
surprised.
they are intact, ready for you, you don't attack. You have to distract them somehow. When there is movement, then you'll know what to do. These are strategies. Some people listening to it will hurt them, it will affect them. But I can share with you audios as of this morning before coming here. Some of them, what they said yesterday, is like somebody has spoken to them and they've seen it differently.
There you go.
That's why I said they are changing.
They are changing.
Exactly.
How do you see that?
I mean, for them, for me, I enjoy politics in Gambia. I mean, like, I'm still a student, I'm still learning. That's why I like listening to Dodou and all these politicians. And like this morning, I was having one of my friends. He's at the UTG, so we always have this debate. He's still strong Jammeh supporter, and I will just say, like in my street, Joswang, there are so many elections. I've seen people gratta you on me. And at the end of the day, after election, you don't see them. I've seen that.
So Barrow was
These are facts.
I said I've seen that.
These are facts.
But then the other time,
Barrow was right. So it's the fact that he said it.
The way he said it. No, the way he said
the
it.
fact that he said it.
But that is even Barrow will.
Everybody know Barrow was right. Okay. And look, in fact, he gave very tangible.
It has even happened to him.
No.
Yes.
Even Barrow's government, it has happened.
Yes. It will happen.
There are people, enjoying roads today. It started years ago.
Yes.
Not now.
So the fact that Barrow was right, everybody know that Barrow was right because you know what politicians do it.
Yeah.
Okay, but the fact that he is not sensitive to the people around him, he should have known. Well, Martin Golgo, Komodo Suri had $1, 4 ton. But how about he could have said, if I want to say as it is, I will offend my people. But then he didn't.
But the people closest to Barrow, go and make your survey.
Okay.
APRC, UDP. They're from these two parties.
I see.
The former ruling and the biggest opposition at the time. These are the people closest to Adama Barrow.
Okay.
So it's nothing new for them. I said he can play his cards very well. It's just like when, now you're seeing two different things. At first, it's like he sent a message as if he faced the coalition.
Okay.
He's pushing them. Again, he come with a different message that even all of you come together, make my father the candidate, I will still be victorious. So you see the strategy. The first message, it created something. The second message is sending them to another path. That's why I said the guy is a technician. Give him that credit. So in many cases, they undermine him.
All right.
He knows what he's saying.
He's going around also laying foundation stone. And I heard also in Nyani he said, okay, I'll build the road after the election.
After election.
After election.
When you re-elect.
After
he's playing
You know,
he's good at what he does.
He said he's playing Jammeh's book.
That is what I call vote for
Play.
Jammeh. It was like vote for development.
Yes.
And so he was saying, but it's the APRC perhaps robbing on him because that's also part of the tactic. But what I was saying in terms of that, you know, just to address one of my friends what he was arguing, I said no. Like he was saying that Jammeh built the university. I said the university is not a fake project. We're not saying that. But during elections, you know, during elections you used to see those kind of stuff, initiatives and all that stuff.
The white elephant project.
Yeah, white elephant project. I mean, that is also, but people are also, you know, this new Gambia is a different kind of Gambia. People are saying those things. They can hold you accountable to certain things that you make. Even the Nyanija, before they went to lay that foundation stone, I saw the council of Nyanija coming, Nyamina. Yeah. She came out and said that if you don't build that road, we are not going to what? Because the people are also demanding. So, and now I go and see like there's a foundation stone laid. So for me, so there's a political strategy to that effect, but it's not saying like everything Jammeh did not do anything. I mean, like, and also people, and of course every government will tend to show that they are doing better than the previous government. And recently I've seen this argument about Jawara and all that. I said, for me, Jawara is the foundation of this country.
Yes. In fact, I think that is the context Barrow was speaking. He was trying to compare how he did things and how Jammeh did things.
Yes.
That his way of doing things are genuine and tangible. He didn't come and fool you and take it. So that's what he was trying to do. But what became problem is that the people surrounding him felt he's insensitive to it.
But I also saw like when this road to Kiang was being built, what Jammeh did. Jammeh jumped Kiang and went all the way to Jara. So for him, it's like you have to support him before he brings the development.
Because Kiang has been defiant.
He told them categorically that since you don't support me, I'm not going to give you the
So that was a very systematic. That's why people talk about the systematic nature of the way he was doing
went
stuff.
there.
Look at this.
Barrow went there and said,
from Abuko, he jumped Lamen and went to Yundu. The street lights.
Street lights.
Because every time Lamen to opposition.
Barrow went to Kia. Barrow went to Kia and said, okay, all right. I know you don't support me. You did not support me in the last election. But I will still bring the project to you because at least in 2016 you supported me. That's what he told them. At least in 2016 you supported me. I know we disagreed in 2021. So but I will still bring it here.
Yes.
But then in Sierra he went ballistic. He said you have to ensure I'm re-elected before your project can continue.
Now,
so
he went to Fonyi. When this project started, what he has given to Fonyi in that talk, no other area had it. More of Fonyi. And he never told them that. I'm telling you about the messaging. What to say, when to say it, and where to say it. So he knows what he's doing. He does not say that everywhere. And is Fonyi a stronghold for Barrow? No, but he has given them so many roads, foundations and all that, without putting any
conditionality. Any conditionality.
What I have done for you, even Jammeh didn't do for you.
He said it, yes. And it's a fact.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a fact.
That's right. Anyway, let's go to Senegal, finally. I mean, people simply said, well, you know, it's just a Barrow Dabo episode. That's it. So is it more than a sale?
No, I want to hear the politician first because this is a political.
People said it's very easy. It's Dabo.
Definitely, it's a.
I mean, Barrow came on the back of Dabo, as so to speak, as they said, and then after he's settled, after he enjoyed the trappings of power, they removed Dabo. So they said also Joma, it's the same thing. After he enjoyed the trappings of power, he forgot how he came to power and removed some. But what are the implications of all this? Are the two scenarios different, or are they just one and the same story? Betrayal, as they call it.
Well, there are similarities, but it's different.
What is similar?
The dynamics of politics in Senegal is different from the Gambia. You'll have to give that, people need to accept. Now, how they came into being until Jomai becomes president is different from Dabo and Barrow.
Very, very different.
No, I'll come to the similarities.
Okay.
But the difference is there. Difference in a sense, Pastef came as a political party. Sonko contested 2018. They didn't win. They were flexing their muscles. Now they built upon that and became a very big force to the credit of Ousmane Sonko. Like him or hate him. Sonko, it's not the peak at Pastef. Pastef have invisible intellectuals, academicians. You will not see them. They will not play any role. But they can dictate the pace of what needs to be done and how. But they need a figure that all the ideology, what they're selling, it's embedded in that figure. It's not that they went and pick anybody, no. They have to scout.
They saw that in Usman Sonko.
Sonko up till tomorrow, he will stand in any podium and said, I never did this, nobody can hold me accountable for that. How many of those type of leaders can you make in Africa? He's unique. Give him that gift. People listen to him. Even without talking, Sonko is moving hundreds of thousands of people. You just shave your head and people shave their head.
Yes, more or less. Last time
when in history did we last have that? Pancake. And this pastiment, to the extent it will create scarcity. Who can you point that has that leadership skills? So you need to give him that too.
He's a charismatic.
Even not saying anything, he will just make an action. He will just come and like kick a football and everybody want to kick a football. That is a leader that's moving people. Give him that credit. And he's somebody who know that, he's down to earth. Whatever people think that Sonko should be, he can wish it for others. No, not only me, others should be as well. Now, the similarities here as, should Sonko resign, should Jammeh fire him?
Yeah.
That happened between Dabo and Barrow.
Exactly, that's why I said there are similarities.
Dabo refused to go.
No, even if it was me, I would refuse. It's a political tactic. Now, if you resign, people won't sympathize with you. They would see personal interest. But when you're serving people, you just don't jump on the side if things, have not soured. If the blame is not on you, you focus on doing the job. Now, if you are sacked, then people will sympathize with you. Now, if Sonko resigned, the flux of people, you see that crowd, it wouldn't have happened. But being kicked out, people will come and sympathize with you. Now, take the example of Barrow Dabo. If Dabo had resigned, a lot of people within the UDP, they would have stayed with Barrow. But if you sack Dabo, then they'll sympathize with Dabo and continue with him.
Everything he has done for you.
Exactly.
So
that's why you think Dabo stayed.
Look at the example of Talib. They say he should resign from the UDP. Do you hear Talib saying, okay, my greeting resurrecting nation is here, I am out? No, he would not do that. Did you hear the UDP come in the open and say, we have expelled Talib? What is stopping them from doing that?
That's one exception.
It's a strategy.
They expelled my Toma, they expelled
why not Talib?
Siaka Jadras and all that.
Why not Talib? And what is stopping them from expelling him? But they are shouting that he should resign.
Yes.
But you have the powers to expel, you are not expelling.
So why do you think that before we...
is that sympathetic nature of people. Now, when it comes to betrayal, politics is about interest. What you are seeing as betrayal, for me, it's interest.
Exactly.
It's not about betrayal. Now, Jammeh has taken a risk. Yes, a big risk. Now, he has to do the maths now. It's up to him. He's the incumbent. People would have to say that. He has the capacity to build. Now, the problem here and there is about the project they have. People's lives were lost. Funds were mismanaged. Pastef want to see to it that they will bring justice at the footsteps, at the doorsteps of people. Now, all the lives lost, has it been accounted for? Not yet. What is stopping Jammeh from doing so? He's playing political card. People are telling him, Pastef, you're the president, but they will ditch you and Sonko will be the candidate. Now, when you have cards on your chest, you look at it, you don't throw away all your big guns. You hold it for a while and watch what other people are putting on the table. You don't rush, you don't jump. Because you're interested in politics, is Jammeh going to serve one term? No, I never foresee that. Very rare us Africans serve one term, you step aside. They will ask you, why would I want to do that? When you push, they tell you the law has given me the mandate. Again, the law will come at play. Even if you choose to, the people around you won't let go. You know what happens with Africa? If I am the president, I have people around me. If the president loses, the people go with you.
That's right.
So they don't care about your qualifications, about your, your credibility,
they
about your competence.
Exactly.
That's so somebody else is coming with his own team.
With his own team.
You can tell me people who work on the Jammeh, they were all incompetent, they were not qualified, but they got rid of almost all of them.
Yeah,
it comes with something new.
Yeah.
So Jammeh understands that the people around, they are Pastef, they are behind Sonko. He cannot do much. Now, if you want to be in charge, you need to do things differently. Now, they have frustrated Sonko to resign. Sonko came with the message. He said, I'll never resign. This is our project. We work for this, we do this.
So
that was a message telling you, if you want me to go, you need to kick me out. But forget about me resigning. Now, he has powers. You can't undermine that. You go to parliament, PASTEF controls it. Now, if PASTEF had minority, Sonko would not have been cleared for 2029. But because of the majority they had,
It's been
and
cleared.
they foresee that.
Yeah.
That is the importance of having that strong control in parliament. Because it's the arm of government.
Absolutely.
There's a lot they can do even to tame a president.
Yeah.
That's why I said Senegal, the politics and Gambia is different.
different.
Here, even you have the parliamentarians and all that. How much measures have they taken to regulate certain things with institutions?
That's right.
Not much.
They have not
Oh, it's all partisan. Senegal, one interest is there, they put country first.
Country first.
You like it or not,
Or not.
the politicians, the musicians,
They
the
come
footballers,
together.
everybody, they
Country.
take that pride, that patriotism is
Patriotism,
there.
yeah.
For us, it's about partisan. Whether we like it or not, we'll see the greater good, the big interest.
But our party doesn't like
We'll
it.
start threatening, but Alain Delon, they will all disappear.
Disappear.
They'll run back to their parties. Look at the constitution
I know.
that everybody hands for. It's a possibility. But what's killing it with all the reasons is partisan politics. Now, Senegal,
So you
collectively,
said
they will
Diomaye
achieve
took
issues.
a risk.
The risk is now he needs to form his own party. The risk is now he needs Macky Sall's people.
Yeah,
Amadou
yeah,
Bass and
yeah,
others,
yeah.
they have to come on
I'm
board.
telling you the scenario with Dabo.
wait.
Let Barrow win for APRC. President Jammeh.
I am coming. You are building all that against a very strong opposition. Structured, organized, good in messaging. They have majority in parliament. You can compare that to what we had in the Gambia here. It's very different. PASTEF, their system of politics is amazing. Everybody in Senegal is PASTEF. Logical, everybody in Senegal is PASTEF. They have the ability to move people. Funds,
So
it's
Diomaye
nothing that they
took
talk
a
about.
very dangerous risk.
Yeah, risks in a sense like whatever he's going to achieve in the next presidential election. Take it for instance, he contests and loses. Within this short span, let's say for instance, if corruption was 10%, now the incoming government, PASTEF, are going to hit Diomaye so hard they could catapult that to 50%. It's like payback. That's the risk it will yield. Now the opposition you are bringing in
But
there,
doesn't he have
they are
time?
coming with terms and conditions.
But
Most of
doesn't-
them, they're still not clear.
But doesn't
yes.
he have time from now to 2029 for him to build a huge support base and decimate the support of PASTEF?
It depends on the messaging. There were campaign promises. You never delivered. Now, what new can you come and sell to the people again? That's where people will say, no, you fooled us one time. Why should we trust you this time? Now, you want to put the blame on PASTEF when you have the powers. No, they will see it as personal. It's you building yourself, wanting a new party. Now, Africa, we can't be creating hundreds of parties. Where is it taking us? And at the end of the day, even the new party coming, what's new in it? Now, if you want to uplift Macky Sall and his people, you're giving him maybe an opportunity to come back in the country. They will not join you for free. They will come with conditions. And bringing Macky back, they could strategize. At the end of the day, maybe if you have the opportunity another time, you will either give them opportunity to go back in power or you risk facing another big opposition.
Now,
That's the risk I am
Do
taking.
you think, given this scenario that exists, the return of Macky Sall is something possible?
It depends what Diomaye is going to build. With who? It's a big question mark. But I know Macky Sall's party is a force to reckon with. They have not deserted Macky. He's making, WhatsApp calls. They're engaging with him. They're still selling his agenda. Why? Because Diomaye never made the move when PASTEF came in governance. So they still feel relevant. And people from Macky are the ones now trying to push Diomaye. His interest. You call it betrayal, somebody else's interest.
Like the APRC did with Barrow.
Exactly. We've pushed and pushed and pushed. We can't do it alone. We need to lean somewhere. Now, where do we
They
live?
found an ally in Barrow.
And that ally has
So
catapulted
Macky
the
Sall's
party.
people have an ally now in Diomaye.
Of course, because it will be very impossible for Macky Sall and PASTEF to make that coalition, alliance, whatever you call it. Practically impossible.
So, but PASTEF, you said, control parliament. They
Yes.
have more than absolute majority.
Yes.
So, meaning that all the laws that shoot Sonko have all been enacted now.
Exactly.
Example, Sonko now can contest elections.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
And there are certain things that Diomaye could do. He needs to be very careful. They could impeach him.
that's right.
That's why I say Senegal is different from us. They are waiting for him to make a wrong
a
move.
wrong move and they will impeach him.
They will be on top of him. So there's a lot at risk. Now, if Diomaye wants to exert certain force, apply certain powers, you face the risk of PASTEF taking the streets again. Another chaotic country. And at the end of the day, how will Jammeh play his cards to have a win-win situation? It's a risk.
Wow.
But it's worth taking.
And what are the implications, for Senegal and the Gambia?
Well, I think for us, we are still learning our case. The analysis, I totally agree in terms of the similarities as well. So we are still learning our experience, but I think we are moving on. So for them, it's a new experience that they have to live, because at one point for us, it's not. I'm not going to look at it from Barrow Dabo, but I'm looking at it from coalition, because it was coalition Barrow in terms of that agreement, because the APRC. The coalition was against APRC and not UDP versus anybody. So in that way, when the coalition, broke, and then Barrow went on his own, and then APRC came in and grabbed. Well, it's not. It's their interest. I mean, politicians. For me, you see, one of the things that I don't do in this country is to say, those are things that politicians can say to each other.
Yeah.
But for us, that for you, if you don't understand politics, you say that politics is like today you are here,
tomorrow
you cannot find it. Well, and historically in Gambia, people have been moving. Yeah. So for me, when they talk about this cross-carpeting, coalition building, there's nothing new in this country. It's just the different players and the time. But coalition has been built from before independence all the way to independence. But so politics move and it matures and it grows in that way. So Senegal has to also learn this, but of course it's going to affect a lot in terms of the development, because they have been under these their financial issues that they have with the IMF and all those things. And not long ago I saw that AFDB also kind of withdrew some of the funds that they have. So this is also creating some. People expected stability, but this is creating some sense of instability in the country, and that is also going to be very difficult, for the Senegalese people. But politically also, I mean, is some sort of I see Jammeh, being backed by the system, because these guys were coming to say system change, and then you came there and you cannot change the system. He's sticking with the system. So but the system has experience, has connection. And sometimes people think about that the system is politicians. The system is not only politicians. No. The politicians are just the visible face.
Yes.
But the system is everything that is hidden, that is also, pushing and controlling here and there. It could be businesses, it could be the technocrats, it could be all of those people. And so today, if they come with all their anti-corruption and then started doing all the investigation, some of the technocrats might be in trouble. So there are all of those elements that people have to look at. But for me, I mean, like for us, we say surprise is the only constant in political science. So we hope and see what's going to happen
next.
So who do you think among the packs behind Jammeh could be prime minister again? The former prime minister Mimi Toure is one who's been talking.
Well, I mean, like it's possible that she might bounce back, because she has been also very. She's been, I think she's basically the one pushing Jammeh, as you can see. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to be the next move, and I think that's what people are waiting to see, whether he's going to go back to the system or he's going to bring a new phase that is different from the system. At least perhaps if bringing a new perhaps might give him the benefit of the doubt. But right now, I mean, I think the debate in Senegal...
The people he's dealing with are remnants of the Macky Sall.
Of course. Yeah, so now
So do you expect Macky Sall's former ministers coming back?
Yeah, possibly, or maybe just new phase within the system, unknown phase. Maybe perhaps that could. Could. But also perhaps I'm also thinking maybe what they're doing, because for me also the way that they talk about the loan, the budgets, it's not only about Senegal as well. It's about the international, the financial.
I'm trying to come to that.
Yeah.
Do you think, international influence has been applied in this case? Many people believe that Jammeh is pro-Western, he is pro-French, whereas Sonko's rhetoric is anti-colonialism. He is normally compared, or let's say in similarity to the policies of the Traorés in Mali.
Like a Pan-African.
Yeah, Pan-African. The people in the Sahel, the new leaders of the Sahel, they said Sonko, sounds like that. And those people are very much anti-France and anti-Western. Do you think France has used its influence on Jammeh to go against I mean, Sonko, who is definitely anti-colonialist, let's say colonialism has ended, but anti-French, anti-Western.
That's one of the packages of democracy. You can't be an island on your own. There are treaties, there are organizations, institutions you must be part of. And for those institutions, it's not about how your country is run. Yeah. It's like a global village. There are things they want to see happen, and they're willing to support you. You can't do on your own. Senegal is not a country that say, I don't need anybody else, I can do it on my own. No, you need these partners. And sometimes when you meet these partners, you have your own song, you know. But if you go to them, there's a different tune. Now, you either blend the two or you have to let go of yours. You can listen to the song, whether you'll dance or not, is optional. That is up to you. But you must listen to the song. This is what is available, nothing else. You can't go beyond that. You see countries who have bigger democracies, who have more superpower, are crashing with those systems, where they would put embargoes, they would suspend, they would do this. Now, smaller countries wouldn't want to tread that path. Then we'll all sink if we happen to go into those dilemmas. Now, it comes to world politics. It's different from what we sing and dance in our countries. That is at a different level. Like Sait tells you, you not see the players. They don't get their hands dirty. These are institutions set. You come and read something, you know what happens next. You sign it to agree here, you need to implement. Now, going back to the politicians, we'll be shouting, making noise, because we're not there at the table. We don't even know what you read and signed. And not everything you're going to come and disclose in the public. That's the system in place that politicians are not in charge. Politicians are drivers. Now, they want to pick people, they want to drop people, but you don't recognize all the passengers. So this is the example. Now, in that bus, the politicians being drivers, you have the businessmen, you have the technicians, you have, you know, all that seated in the mechanic with different agendas. Now, amongst them, they will agree to disagree. At the end of the day, if they say it's wide, it's wide. So you think, like, for example, the World Bank will just come and say, okay, we're going to help you build roads. It doesn't work that way. There's some discussion somewhere, some agreements, either short-term, long-term, but there's something on the table, which is not coming out to all of us. So at the end of the day, we see money coming in, there are projects, they are supervising, they are all that, but how did it all happen? It's those in that box who can tell you.
So, Jomai, I mean, when we saw what happened yesterday, when Sonko was sacked, he left his official residence and drove to his house.
Seems he was expecting that.
It
was like, it happened and then he just packed.
Exactly. Because you receive information. Let's say if this is cabinet, Jammeh is the president, he has decided to sack me, some people will get the news before the official announcement or whatever. So they knew that it was going to happen. That's why I said if Sonko chose to resign, it would be different from being sacked. It's a strategy. Now, the risks I'm talking about, Joma, is what next and how. It's a risk. He could succeed, he could stumble. It could be a big challenge. But PASTEF is a force to reckon with. They are organized. They know what they want. They know how they can get. You go to the media, they've dominated the media. You listen to the people of PASTEF talk, whatever you say, they can debunk it. And people you undermine, they've never been to university, but they will challenge those who have PhDs. What they're telling and the words they're sending, you'll be surprised. Because internally, they've structured and built that party. Both here and in the diaspora. A party that would organize an activity, their own people come and pay to enter. And it's full to capacity. Tell me which country have you seen that? Not even in the West. Give them that credit. They're very unpredictable what they would do
as
next.
Gambia to worry because we have our relations, trade, economic, even security.
Now, of course, we have a lot to worry. You can say Gambia, it's inside Senegal. On three sides, we can say we're a province in Senegal. If you look at the map, people who don't understand just studying the map, you'll think that Gambia is part of Senegal. Whatever happens there will affect us. Negative, positive, it will impact on us. This we can quit.
But just look at the debate already on social media. You already have the pros. Like for us also,
so it looks like
even though we don't have anything to say or vote or decide anything, but it's
raining on us.
It's because of the
whether you like the rain or
proximity.
not.
You know, recently we wrote a paper on proximity, but we were looking looking at it in terms of, from the security perspective. But proximity also, creates this kind of relationship. And sometimes, definitely, because for us also, this is going to create political instability in Senegal. And of course, we need to expect that. We've lived that during the time of Macky when it created that. And so we'll have to also experience that. But of course, the only thing we have we can discuss it, analyze it, but it's, at the end of the day, for me, it's for Senegalese to decide what way they want their country to go.
Exactly, and that would be the end result. Now, Sonko, Jammeh have a responsibility of balancing about running government and forming another party.
Oh, yes.
Which is going to be multitasking. And it's what affected us from 2017 to 19.
I see.
How much development has happened in that span?
And he has
when you want to build and govern at the same time, it's a big challenge.
And he has a lot of economic problems too.
Exactly. Exactly.
But of course, maybe now people were seeing Sonko as the problem.
Yes.
Maybe now that's the time that now they'll start pumping in.
Maybe. Especially if it gets worse.
They
will say then Sonko was destabilizing, helping. Then without Sonko, why should we give you another time?
But I'm also saying it from the fact that now Sonko is out of the government. So maybe, all this sanction, all the other issues, especially those so-called Western people that did not like Sonko, maybe can start pumping money. Sonko was the problem, and now they start showing and how supporting Jammeh to bring in development, work on certain things.
Succumbed to their conditions.
Yes.
Now, how do you balance the two? Governance, forming a party. And you need to be on the ground, talk to people, convince them, you need to attend meetings, you need to be part of the setup.
Sonko seemed to be very popular in the diaspora. Would this not affect Jammeh's presence?
Sonko is popular everywhere. Give him that credit.
Especially in
he is popular everywhere.
Diaspora.
Because his messaging, he knows what he's doing. And most of it is Sonko centered. But like I said, you have technicians in Pastef who can tell you, okay, this is what we need. The strategy is there. And one thing that they did, separating like the party politics from governance.
Yeah, they did that very well.
That's what reduced Jammeh to somehow not having that power to have a control over the party. That's the strategy they built because they want to create something different in Senegal. And Pastef did that. You give them that credit.
All right. Dodou Jah, politician.
No, he's a political analyst now. I should be inviting him to my political science classes.
Yes.
Because for us, we just read the materials, but those that live it, they understand it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Sait Matty, thank you both for being on the brunch. We hope to see more of you in the coming editions as we enter the political season in the Gambia here. And of course, as Senegal enters into another political new page in there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The brunch will continue with a look at sports. And gentlemen, if you care about football, you might like to stick around because the Football Federation will have elections in August. And the entire current management is going to giving way to a new president and his team. Well, that president may well be, it could be, Musa Jammeh, Colonel, who we have as next guest on the program. There are other candidates, but today we will hear from Musa Jammeh what his thoughts are and what his plans are. That will be the brunch just after this little break.
Jah Oil ñoom ñoo jiitu si wàllum jaay essence si biir réew mi te ñu def ko warugal pour kontaan loo suñu client yi borom moto yi ak driver yi seen jaaxare jeex na léegi pour am essence bu baax ak njëg bu yomba lii sax moo tax ñu amal leen banxaas fépp si biir réew mi pour essence bu baax bu set benn place rek la muy Jah Oil soo soxlae essence bu set essence bu baax gasoil wala kérosine naa la wax ne Jah Oil rek mooy jëmukaay ga doxantul rek si bépp banxaasi Jah Oil nga am si bànneex ak Jah Oil seen bànneex mooy suñ taxawaay moo tax ñu amoon leen banxaas bépp si biir réew mi nim gën a yombee pour yow ak suñ liggéeykat yu xarañ yi naa la won ne mbégte rek nga see jël pour am essence bu baax pour say machine fenn place rek la mooy sa Jah Oil ak Jah Oil bànneex kese la moo tax sax suñ station si nekk ca Coastal Road ak Banjul wàññil nañ leen njëgi essence bi foofu noonu pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call si 770 8080 322 9070 714 7273 wala 787 1321 Jah Oil, the pride of the nation.
Traveling has never been this simple in the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSA depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or up-country routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our...
Welcome back to the Brunch on Kerfatu Live. I'm Lavin Cham. Well, after those political discussions, we are now talking about sports and football in particular, because in August the Gambia Football Federation is going to have an elective congress where a new leadership, a completely new leadership, will be elected by stakeholders. One of the aspirants for president in that election is Colonel Musa Jammeh, a senior army officer. He is also the president or CEO of Falcons Football Club. He's also head of security at the GFF and has had a lot of international assignments on behalf of the GFF on matters dealing with security at CAF and FIFA. Now, Musa himself was a footballer. I think he had a few caps for the national team, so his name is well known when it comes to football, either as a player or in the current administration. He is aspiring to lead Football House, that's the headquarters of GFF, in the August elections. He's here in the studio by way of introduction. That is, I should ask him, Musa, where do you come from?
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you.
For this important engagement. I am from Makumbaya.
Makumbaya, yeah.
A village in the Kombo North Western region. Precisely, it is just on the eastern side of the airport. That is where I come from. Yeah, that's just where I come
Let's
from.
take through your life in football. I know, of course, your background professionally is you are a soldier. But football, since when did you come? You must, of course, as Gambia, you start with the Navetans and stuff like that. When did you take up interest in football?
Football, precisely, I think it started during my primary education in Makumbaya.
Yes.
I remember we used to have a PE teacher.
Okay.
in those days called Almame Fati. He hails from Dankunko.
Dankunko, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was our maths teacher, and he introduced us into formal football at primary school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was since then. That was in the 80s.
That was in the late
80s. Yeah.
Maybe through Master Gassama style.
Master Gassama, in fact, he was our headmaster at that time.
I remember him there.
Yeah. So I was basically recruited, through that person, and due to my maybe talent that he discovered at that time.
That's right.
Yeah, he had a lot of interest in me playing the sport. Yeah, so it all started from Makumbaya Primary School, from the school team, and then from there, when I went to Nasir Ahmad Muslim High School, I also continued playing initially for the junior team, and then later, then PE teacher was Dodou Jah. He used to work with fire service. But it is a renowned name in Bashe in terms of football.
Okay.
Yes, so he was the one who promoted me from the junior team, to the senior team, and that is how my football progressed. So, I literally played through the school football system. And from there, when I came to Nusrat High School to do my A levels, then I was scouted, by Saraba Football Club, to play in the then second division.
That was the later part of Saraba, not the initial side.
Exactly. This is a good one. That's the latter part of Saraba. Yeah, the main Saraba, I have never played for them.
That had already winded up.
Yeah, it winded up. Yeah, I used to work.
So your league football started with Saraba?
Yes, definitely. It started.
And then you move on to?
From Saraba, then I went to Walidan.
Yes.
From Walidan, then back to the armed forces.
Yes.
Yeah, where I
so
spent
the army team, naturally.
Yeah, exactly. When I enlisted into the armed forces, then I had to play for the armed forces. Yeah.
Were you in the armed forces team in their 1998 championship, a league title? I remember that.
No, it was the 2003-2004.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when we won the league with Titao, the late
Titao. I think it was you are right. I remember that.
Yeah, it's 2000.
When Titao was the head coach.
Head coach. Yeah. So we won the league that time.
Yeah.
But the later part of 2004, then I was out of the country on training in the US. So when they played the African Champions League, I was out of the country at the time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. When were you scouted for the national team? I think for a brief moment you.
Yes, actually, my initial recruitment for the national team was. In 1992.
Yeah.
That was for the junior national team.
The junior national team.
Yes. In that year, immediately after the Super Nawetan, from the zones, we were invited to the stadium, and a selection was made.
Yeah. You were then playing for Serekunda East?
Yes, I used to play in Serekunda East,
With Jatu and others?
Yes, Jatu, yes. In fact, in that selection, we were there with Jatu, Chojalo, and Idi Boy from Brikama. That was the team that traveled, the under 20 team that traveled to the UK. Yeah, that was the first time I was selected. But the final squad that traveled to the UK, I didn't make it. Yeah, but since then, I was a regular in terms of invitation to the national team. In fact, from 1992, 93 to 94, I was always invited. But then I used to come from school in Nusrat. We used to stay at the hostel. So Alaji Silla used to allow me to go to school, come back, and then continue.
You were with the team in the 1997 Zone 2?
Yes, 1997, but I didn't also play in that one. Then I was already in the armed forces. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so much of your background. Let's move on to the big program you are heading to. When did you join? When did you become a member of the Gambia Football Federation Security Committee? Because I think that's where it started.
Yes. Actually, I became a security and safety officer for the Federation during Mustafa Kebe run executive.
I see.
Yes.
That would be between 2013 onwards.
Exactly, and it was a brief time, and it all started from that time. And having served briefly. And unfortunately, when the changes happened for unfortunate reasons,
they had their executive banned over allegations of match fixing.
Yeah, that is.
Then a new election. There was an interim committee headed by Obi Konate. They call it normalization committee. And then, in fact, this is the second normalization committee in the run-up to the Kaba. It's led by people. People like Alaji Silla and others, yes.
Okay.
Then you stayed there until the Kaba team was elected in 2014.
Exactly, I stayed. What happened was after the team was disbanded, then Team Kaba was formed.
Yeah.
And during that formation, we were part of the people who came back to form that team. From the other side. Of course, I mean, there was that need that, we have to move on. A new team has to come, and we felt that Kaba was the right person at the time. And that's how, I moved from that administration to the Kaba time. And since then, I have been there as a safety and security...
Not necessarily part of the executive.
Not necessarily part of the executive, but the chair of the security subcommittee. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what made you think that you are a suitable person for the August elections? Many people would have said, okay, people who were critical of the Kaba team would say, okay, Musa, though may not be executive member, but have been part of the Kaba administration. So whatever this is affected, that administration, really, Musa is part and parcel of that. Just as they would say of almost all the top candidates right now, Sadibu Kamaso, Kemo Sise, and Musa Jammeh. What do you think you will do differently?
Okay, thank you. Well, in the second spell, or the second term of Team Kaba, I was a co-opted
that is from 2022 to now?
Yes, I was a co-opted executive member.
You become an executive member?
Yeah, and but still maintaining my
security
chairperson of the security committee.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes. People can have their opinion in terms of...
Just like the achievements, the two Cup of Nations appearances, just as that has been celebrated as a Team Kaba achievement, there were others who have a lot of misgivings about Team Kaba. They allege them of presiding over failed projects, poor financial management, and in some cases outright corruption, although most of it unproven. But if somebody said you have been part of that, especially the last 4 years, how would you say you can do something differently? Or do you even agree with some of those criticisms?
Honestly, I don't agree.
You don't agree that projects meant to develop the zones to fail?
I'm not saying they didn't fail. I'm saying that we have to look at the bigger picture as far as Team Kaba is concerned.
Exactly.
When you look at the history of Team Kaba coming, particularly before their coming, there were a lot of things that our football has been subjected to. You spoke about the disbandment of the executive. There are things that happened.
There was
even before
a dissolution and disbandment.
Exactly, disbandment. Yeah. All those things are related to things that have to do, with running football.
Poor governance.
Exactly, poor governance. But when Kaba came until now, I think this is an area that I believe has improved so much. let people get me right. You have the ideal situation and the realistic situation. Yes, we may want it perfect, but perfection is very difficult to achieve. We have to look at how far we have gone. In Team Kaba, or the Kaba-led administration themselves, or all of us, we know that we could have done, better, in some of the projects, per se. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we didn't really improve in most of those projects. Look, before, precisely around 2014 or thereabout, if you want to play, league matches, the available grounds at the time will not allow you to play sufficiently the number of matches that you want to play. No.
But has anything changed?
Of course, it has changed because now, you can have, up to, very close to 10 teams, 5 or 6 matches being played on a single day. In fact, there are days...
But you have to use private grounds.
Yeah, but no, that's normal. Most of those private grounds must have, there is a contract between the GFF and them. And, for the federation to use private grounds is normal. But you don't expect the federation themselves to be building grounds.
No, but some of those, we're talking about some of those private grounds, especially those belonging to the municipalities, where the federation took up on, allegedly received money to upgrade, but failed to do that.
No, of course.
Until there was a year, there wasn't no supernovate, and the federation had to come and apologize. You remember?
I'm not sure they failed to do it. Maybe
they were not completed on time.
Completed on time. Yeah, yes. that has now to do with the timing issue.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something that perhaps we have to find out in detail to know what happened. But eventually, it might have been done, and that allowed us to be able to play these league matches, both first and second division. Within the time frame that we envisage.
Yeah, so you said now 10 teams can play, within the same week.
Yes.
Different grounds.
Yes, definitely.
And that's an achievement you don't Team Kaba.
Of course, that's an achievement because the whole idea of association football is for teams to be able to compete. Yeah. Remember in 2014 or thereabout, we only had 10 first division teams. And few second division teams.
Now we got to 16.
Yeah, now you have 16 first division and 18 second division.
Yeah.
For that to be possible is that you must get grounds where those competitions will be played.
Yes.
And that has happened through the support of the federation. So,
so there was a delay in implementing those projects.
Yeah, but eventually
they
came up. And it's some of those projects have to do with improvements. Yeah, and we have to understand these terms, improvement and building a whole stadium, mini stadium are completely different things. Yeah. So and I've observed most times this is where
I know there is a lot of
notions
that are wrong, like the blaming the GFF for the independent stadium. That is one aspect.
Yeah.
But then the stadiums the grounds that were taken up on by the GFF to upgrade. Those that doesn't belong to them, particularly belong to the municipalities and communities. That's where much criticism come that they were not complete on time and maybe the quality and in fact they allege outright corruption in the implementation of the project. The latest been the Nyakwe Stadium where people disagreed that it was even 14 million as claimed by the GFF. How do you react to those kind of things?
I don't really have much details about the Nyakwe project. But if you check properly the minimum cost of putting up a stadium of that nature or a mini stadium of that nature and the amounts that they are talking about, honestly, I feel that it is fair.
The criticisms are unfair.
You know, yeah, because you see, football this football infrastructure is very expensive. Right. I ran through a couple of newspapers, adverts on some projects to be run by the Minister of Youth and Sports and the like for some of these stadia, mini stadium. Yeah. But if you look at the BOQs and the expected
the bill of quantities,
yes, and the expected, it's almost what we are talking about in terms of the Nyakwe project, and the quality of the works, I don't think they will be substantially, different.
I see.
Yeah. So when you want to gauge some of these things, that is how we look at them. Mm-hmm. I am not trying to, downplay the, concerns of the people, because I've not really gone to Nyakwe to see the quality of the works, but. Based on my little experience, to put up a very good mini stadium of that nature, we really
You mean the cost? The cost is definitely justifiable compared to even projects implemented by the Ministry of Sports, the mini stadiums. If you look at the cost involved, they're almost as the same as the Nyakwe.
Yeah, it's just almost
and you think that those contractors for those Ministry of Sports did not deliver. They did not deliver anything better than what been delivered in Nyakwe. Something like that.
I think we have to get that a bit right, because I didn't get to Nyakwe to see exactly. Yes, but I'm now looking at what happened in those that we have seen in terms of cost against the one in Nyakwe. Okay. Yeah. So cost-wise, I think but in terms of the quality of the material themselves, that's something that I should have been there, and I can juxtapose and detail.
Okay. Of course, there is this two appearances in the Cup of Nations. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, exactly.
And recorded by Team Kaba. So now, just speaking to you, of course you've been part of Team Kaba, so naturally you should resonate with successes and maybe conceived or perceived weaknesses of the Team Kaba regime. But now that you are going to be a fresh man looking for the presidency of the GFF, what do you say to claims that you are put up by Team Kaba for them to ensure the continuity of their office or their influence on football? Do you believe Musa Jammeh is a man of his own who will act independent of his own, who is going to have his own decisions to make, and would not be a puppet, as they put it, to the Team Kaba regime?
Okay, Mr. Cham, let me state that I have 30 years service in the Gambian Armed Forces.
Indeed.
And up to 26 or 27 years as a commissioned officer. This speaks volumes of the type of person that I am. And the military is such an institution that they cannot allow you to hold certain positions this long without having something that it requires to run it.
Okay.
That said, I am somebody who has all along lived football, from my school days until now. For somebody in your rightful mind to sit and think that, I will vie for a position, get into that position just to be remote controlled by somebody in the background, that must be, the biggest illusion that one can have. Because, you see, I am by my very nature, I'm a very independent person. I believe in what I believe. if I am to come as the president of the federation, I must be remembered for the initiatives that I came up with. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, what Team Kaba and others are, that's the history. For me, that is gone.
Really?
Yes, it's gone because that one has already been banked by President Kaba and his team. I will be judged by what I have done from my time. So, this is just, I don't know how to really package it properly, but it is just an imagination that our distractors are coming up with. But those who really know me as a person knows that, I am who I am. I cannot be in any way, be dictated, in the background as far as this important role is concerned. That's impossible, and it will never happen. Definitely.
Fantastic. Now, you know part of the problems of running football in the Gambia. The clubs will tell you we don't have enough prize money, and sometimes when we have it, it is always late in receiving the payment. And then we don't have federation support. If we win and have to go for international matches, and then FIFA and CAF, within 4 years, we are told by records that pump $600 million Gambian dollars in terms of operational cost and project developments. If you get this money, how are you going to develop Gambian football?
Okay.
Let's start with the clubs. The complaints they have is that they don't get enough money as prize money. Even though they have support in the leagues, they still feel that it's small. But then they say the prize money given to them is too small, and they always get paid late. How are you going to change that?
Okay, before I answer that question, Mr. Cham, allow me.
You run Falcon, so you must know.
Yeah, so this is, in fact, that's why
you have a personal experience.
In fact, one of the reasons why I choose to take Falcons through from Nawetan all the way through all the levers of Gambian football to where it is for me to have a deeper understanding of how football, is run in this country.
Very good.
Because if you come and just buy a club right in first division or second division, you don't know what it really takes, to move from the other levers
to compete.
Yeah. So I have the feeling of how a Nawetan football club runner feels.
I see.
At the third division level, because I lived it.
Because you have gone through it.
I've gone through all of them. So I know what those problems are.
Okay, yeah.
Now, in terms of support to these clubs, and this concern of the monies being given out as prize money not being sufficient. Yes, of course, we always have that feeling that you could have gotten much.
Yes.
Looking at how much you spend, from the beginning of the season, until the end, and eventually what comes out if you are the league winner or runner-up. Yeah, but again, the other side of it is to understand where these funds are coming and what they are intended for. Sometimes there are compromises here and there. To see environment of these funds from one particular activity to another, in order to allow certain things to be done for the greater good of football. Because at the end of the day, if those things that I'm talking about, where those environments were done, if they are not achieved, perhaps this funding that we are talking about will not even come. So here, it's about balancing.
We have to balance it.
Yes, we have to balance. But the ideal situation will definitely be, for those funds to be strictly used for the purposes that they are meant for. But if that is also done, remember, it is going to cause, an adverse effect somewhere. So this is the quagmire that we are facing.
But
so for me, one thing that I will really have to understand is to get in there, because for now, we are imagining so much.
You are still on the peripheral line, so if you
have to get in there to see, because they say the devil is in the detail. I have to go in there and see critically, understand it, and perhaps with some good initiatives, maybe you may have some cut some savings here and there and be able to improve on clubs.
You have a military discipline and financial background. Does this arm you, effectively for this job?
Yes, so much. I look at myself as the right candidate at this moment to look after our football, because I have the financial background, even in terms of working in government. Government is before coming to the armed forces. I worked at the Accountant General Office.
Yes, that's right.
I have a good understanding of how things work there. I have also been working in the armed forces in a very staff position where activities of the armed forces are dictated. More to do with financial resources.
Yeah.
And also I have played football and managed football on a daily basis. I get all these things. So I have the understanding of the footballer's perspective. I have the understanding club owner's perspective. I have the rare quality of a military officer who can also use his expertise discipline-wise. Discipline, not just the surface one.
I mean,
the proper discipline in terms of sticking to doing what ought to be done at the right time and the right place. So I think with that experience and our current situation in terms of perception of governance issues and things like that, I think I will be the right person to come and get those things ongoing.
You mentioned the last one. I mean, there's a lot of disillusionment, rightly or wrongly, about the way football is governed now. A lot of disillusionment. Now, should we expect somebody like you, who had served at least the best part of the last regime of the system to effectively and dramatically change this?
I will take the effective part of it, because it's about getting the results. Anything that we do, we have to focus to get the right results. Of course, through the right procedures. I will come with my team with our initiatives. We are not coming to mimic anyone. We are coming with our own way of doing things and to do it right. Of course, looking at what obtains, what is possible. But I would like to use the military term. They call it the art of the possible. Of course, it all revolves around resources. So we look at it critically, make the most of it, and to ensure that we get the right result that we are set for ourselves. We have a vision that we're coming up with, carefully crafted, with our mission and our strategic plans that we will definitely go by. And that implementation will definitely be in line with the budget that we will set. Agreed upon by our stakeholders in the AGM. The good thing with us is it is not going to be an academic exercise. The budget has to be worshipped.
I see.
You have to follow it.
Follow it to the letter.
Follow it to the letter. There can be some flexibilities where possible, but it is there to be followed.
You see, the Federation at the moment, over the last 10 years, so have not been able to raise funds domestically enough to be able to cushion some of its obligations. It have virtually had to rely on international funding from either FIFA or CAF. How are you going to make football marketable even to the domestic audience, the domestic fans and the domestic business here?
You see, Mr. Cham, one of the biggest challenges that President Kaba and his team had is how they were ushered in office. They came through a very turbulent time.
Turbulent time, yes.
Yeah, very a lot of issues were around it.
Yes.
Now, to change the mindset, because here, generating income has to do with trust. This is about business.
Yeah.
Anyone that you want to bring, expect something for being involved. Here, if Kerfatu wants to partner with the Gambia, with the GFF, there's something that they expect. So they came at a time that trust was a big problem. They had to come and work on that.
I see.
And that is why recently you see the sponsorship that are coming toward the GFF. They have to wait for how many years before those things come?
Things like Baluo,
Expert
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the trust is gradually coming.
Skybank, or whatever.
And yes. So what I'm saying is, in case we are lucky to come, we may not find ourselves in the situation that Kaba and his team came in. We are coming at a time when the trust is coming around our football.
The issue they themselves admitted was the lack of reputation, or the damage in their reputation.
Yes.
They have an image problem, and that's caused by internal politics.
Yes.
They believe that has caused caused them a lot of reputational damage, making them unable to attract, like you said, people who trust of the people.
Exactly.
How are you going to change that?
Yeah, I mean, to change, reputational matters really have to do with how governance, how do you set up your governance activities. People want to trust the federation. How do they trust them? I mean, they want to see, for instance, the financial statements that they have. Some of them will be interested to see them in public. For instance, I'm just giving you an example.
Yes.
To be sure that what they are seeing is depicted right on the financial statement.
Where would you share this? Because the issue the DGF said, the DGF is a private club. Only stakeholders have the rights to see those things. Are you going to share that publicly?
No. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
There are possibilities.
Okay.
It could be. Is somebody going to venture on that? Is a possibility. But of course, when you also look at certain policies, you can put up policies that will ensure that there is efficiency in how we do things, in procurement wise also. Those can be done in a way that resources can be better managed. Yeah, but empowering the teams is key.
Okay.
Because if they are empowered, they'll be able to deliver the quality football that will attract fans to go and watch them. Okay. And once we have more people, going and watching football, they'll be able to generate income.
I see.
Sponsors also will come. Football is this gym that you don't have to go and campaign for people to come and watch you. Your campaign has to do with the quality of football.
What you are showing.
Yeah, you deliver. You deliver on the coaching quality. It will have its effect on the performance on the field. You deliver on the refereeing quality. Will have its effect on the quality of the match. And all these things will affect the other components that comes towards watching of football. Even the pitches that we have, if the quality of the pitches also are good, the performance of the teams will also be good. And then the audience that watches our football may grow. Then it becomes easy, for partners to come and invest into our football. So our strategy is really to look at those areas where we can influence, invest into them, and then hopefully the quality of our football will be up there, and then we'll be able to partner more, and then we'll generate funds for the federation.
How about relations with the government? over the last 4 years or so, especially with the team qualifying the Africa Cup of Nations, the government has put in hundreds of millions of dollars in support of the national team. But the GFF always said that these supports are not always enough, and in some cases they have to dip into their finance to take care of other teams, other national teams, because obviously the government is concerned mainly with the national team, that's the senior one. But the rest of the things is budgeted from, taken care of by the budgets of the GFF.
Yeah.
How are you going to address this?
Yeah, Mr. Cham, I said earlier here that if you look at the funding of the federation, it is in no way sufficient to take care of the activities of the federation. No. And that is why some of these environments into other activities are somehow, forced onto the federation. We know football is a very expensive venture. On average, any national team engagement may require more than $12 million per se, on average, minimum. Now, if the government, provides, say, maybe 9 million or 8 million thereabout.
Yes.
There's a gap of 4 million that has to be funded.
By the GFF.
Of course, now you are giving me the solution that it has to be the GFF.
Yeah.
But where is the GFF also gonna, get these monies from? So it is not rocket science. What technically it means is you have to via these funds from another source that it was not meant for. But look, the implications are, they are very interlinked.
They are related.
They are related.
You will have to find fund to fill that gap again.
Exactly. Yeah, but what is also good is that you don't want to miss your national team, fulfilling their international obligations.
Because that means you will not get international support. Also.
Exactly. So this is the point. But are we also? I'm not going to be the one to blame government for not, 100% fulfilling, the requirements of the federation in terms of national teams. I know football is a very expensive venture. We are from a third world country. There are other competing, interests. Now, from records, I've been told that government has, contributed between 40% or thereabout. Funding into the national team activities.
Yeah.
But this 40% over the years, you see how it has positively impacted on our football. Only 40% has allowed us to be able to play 2 AFCONs. So can you imagine if that 40% wasn't there, where will our football be? Even these professionals we are talking about, these minties that we are talking about, if they were not playing in the national team also, their value that we are talking about today wouldn't have been there. And the professionals we are making wouldn't have been professionals. So, back to your question, how, do, we close this gap? I think it has a lot to do with, more engagement with government. Because government really has to, own up to the national team activities. Once that is done, it will allow the federation, to use these other funds to support football operations. That is, that the funds being provided by FIFA for those things to be, used for those purposes.
The government will need trust, confidence, and sound financial management of the funds they committed. Can your administration supply that, assure that?
Well, 100%. You see, as far as I'm concerned, anywhere you put your money, you have the right to request anything that has to do with how those funds are managed. Any funds that the government invests into Football House, they will be adequately, provided, records of them in anyhow they want it. Yeah, because at the end of the day, that is a responsibility that we owe them. They, how you cannot provide your funds and still, be you set aside not, to account for those funds. I mean, I don't think that's fair. Yeah, so for us, we will be ready
for that.
For them, anything that they come up with, we'll be able to provide them full details of how those funds, and in fact, we will allow them to be part of how those funds are being used. Yes.
You know, I told you, in 4 years, after every World Cup, and if you look at about in the Gambian terms, $600 million been coming to the GFF through operational cost or FIFA forward projects. I mean, support of infrastructural developments or development of the game, the refereeing, coaching, etc. Now, people consider out this money to be a lot of money, you know, within 4 years. And then people always say, we don't see much tangible outcomes of the way this money is spent. What do you make of that? If you come into the office, how are you going to manage this money, the operational cost and FIFA forward money, and sometimes even bonuses? How are you going to spend these monies to show that, you know, concepts like too much money goes into the federation, we don't see it's happening anywhere, so that you can be able to address those things? How are you going to address this?
Well, Mr. Chair, these funds that you are talking about, each of them, there are, you know, procedures and a particular criteria that must be met
to tap
them. And once
they to maintain them.
Yes, and once they are tapped, their implementation also is being monitored and evaluated by those who provide those funds. You understand? Yes.
So it's not logical for anybody to say, oh, they've chopped all this money.
No,
that came to them.
It's not possible, because you know you really have to come with a practical program that meets certain criteria of FIFA or CAF, which must be, you know, assessed, evaluated to meet the conditions, costed, you know, before, you know, the funds will be released. And when they are also released for the particular project, you know, they monitor its implementation to ensure that what it is meant for has been achieved. You understand? Because I can confirm that, you know, when it comes to FIFA and CAF, in terms of meeting their governance requirement is so high. The standards of their governance requirement is very, very high.
Very high.
Very, 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 very high.
So the very possibility to meet or to be able to meet the criteria must reflect in the way you govern it.
Absolutely, they are linked. They are linked. And for you to even access any other project must depend on the success of the other project.
I see.
You know, so it's going to be really difficult, you know, for these millions that, you know, you are talking about.
600 million in 4 years.
In 4 years, for it to go out there without
to somebody's pocket,
without FIFA or CAF themselves, you know, certifying that yes, you know, this has been spent on what it is meant for. Yeah. So sometimes the difficulty also is sometimes people are so focused on tangibles, but there are intangibles. There are intangibles in here. If you look at our football, the development of our football, you cannot disagree with me that in Africa today, we are one of the countries that produces most expatriates, footballers.
Yeah. But not in major leagues, except in the case of a few.
Gradually, yeah, but that is how it starts. It has to be gradual. Those who are now in major leagues started from other leagues before they get to the major league. So this is a cycle. You want to maintain this, improve on this, and they will get to the other level. You understand? So let us not forget that, you know, our football is moving forward, thanks to, you know, some of these funds which are coming from FIFA. But again, I am not trying to hold brief for anyone here. Most of those details, I will know them when I get there. And I want to be judged. I want to set my own history.
By what you do when you get there.
And I can assure you I will try to do my own way and a better way, not to mimic anyone.
Okay. Let's go to your connection with the stakeholders. You know, we have in terms of vote individually, 77 it should be. 5 allied associations, 34 clubs, and 7 regional football associations. In terms of breakdown, you have 28 votes in the regions, 15 votes or so. If all the allied associations are functional, you have 15 votes there. The 34 clubs have 34 votes there. And in order to win, you must have, well, it is just like the national electoral system, is the first past the post. You will need to get more than half of 77 to get there. How strong is your support and reception since you announced your aspirations to contest for office? How strong has been the reception from either of these categories to your presidential bid?
Well, my assessment is that most genuine football stakeholders, most of them are very genuine, and they have taken my candidature very, very seriously.
Really?
Yes, seriously, because most of them didn't see it coming. Because my competitors, they have been in there, particularly, Kamaso has been there, and for the other one, Kemo also has been doing his, background work on the matter, and their intentions have been very, very clear in terms of coming. JT also has announced his interest earlier. Okay, so mine came, right at the, last moment per se.
Why did it do that? Should somebody argue that it has never been your interest to come? You've been pushed to do it. You yourself have said that you only saw interest in the latter part.
No, not that. Yes, my interest came officially at the latter part, and I will explain a bit on that. You see, I am cultured from the village, and how you express your intent when you want to take up a certain position where somebody is, that has to be, done in a very timely manner.
I see.
Remember, we have, an existing executive.
Yes.
Yes, there was this, time limit.
Time limit clause.
Time limit clause, it was there. Okay, but also the possibility of reviewing the constitution, the Civic constitution was there.
You mean to remove that?
Not
if
to
there was an
remove
ambition,
it. Not to remove it. Yeah, but at some point, FIFA has submitted a possible constitution being practiced by many African member associations. And in that one, there are, a lot of governance issues. Even these term limit things are all there. And the possibility of aligning to that one was there. So it was at the discretion of the GFF to see how they could review that. That possibility was there. Yeah, so my view was that I cannot, express my intent
until
to become until
it's clear
that
to you.
matter is completely cleared, settled. Then I can, because you see, what is important to me is to serve. It's not a question of leading that matters most. The most important is to serve. And it was until that time when it became clear that,
this
matter, we have to set it aside. They have to go.
Yeah.
And in that executive committee meeting, it was, the president announced that, let's think about it from within and see who are qualified and who may be interested. And it was from that time that I also did my groundwork, and express my intent.
So all along, you have not come forward because you knew it wasn't clear whether actually the current one will go by virtue of the time limit clause, or they may align themselves with FIFA's guidance that may allow them to go.
Exactly.
So you waited until it was clear that they are going.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, because you cannot, form an executive within an executive. Because that is what it will bring.
I see.
And I'm not, for me, in fact, I look at those type of things as a coup d'etat. And, in the military, that is a very...
That's a treasonable offense.
Treasonable offense. So, I said...
And the head was a soldier. So, so naturally...
So, I have to wait for the right moment.
Yes.
And when it came, I expressed my intent. And back to your question, we did our consultations a lot with the stakeholders, and most of them are very, very happy that somebody like me with my football background and experience is now coming into the fray as far as this.
Most of them from the regions or the clubs or the allied associations?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Oh.
They are. And you see, we have to understand that because somebody has started his consultations earlier than you, you have to also expect that the person might have been somehow entrenched. And of course, sometimes conditionally, people will choose somebody just because that is what is available. But if a better option now comes, of course, they now have to look at it. Because here, it is not about...
And you think you are the best option?
Well, I firmly believe that. If not, I will not
have gone in there.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Let's look at this now. I've just talked about the electoral system. The allied associations, the clubs, and the regions are the ones who are going to make the decision. And Team Kaba had been working on a united front. They wanted you and Kemo, who are members of the Team Kaba, to see whether you could come together for there to be a single candidate. That did not happen. Why do you think that did not happen? Is it that none of you was ready to compromise for the order?
Yeah. Well, it is right that me and my brother Kemo, we all come from the same team. And our relationship even dates, far back before this team.
Absolutely.
So when this matter came, we were advised to sit and discuss and see how we can come together to form a formidable group. And when we met on the matter, it was a bit difficult to agree because, the focus was so much on who will lead.
Just like in national politics.
Yes, that's not national politics. Okay, my position was that even during my expression of intent into this competition or election in the executive, I said that I am a team member. I'm expressing my intent on behalf of this team because I belong for the team. If the team thinks that I suit the criteria to lead them and to lead this federation, I am happy to lead. But if they also feel otherwise, that maybe the colonel is not better suited to lead and somebody else is there, I'm a team member, I'm ready to work with that person. You understand? That has been my position from day one until, when this whole process ended. So, unfortunately, my position was very, very different from, my brother. But eventually the caucus has to decide who they think is the right person at the right time, because a lot of factors have to be considered when choosing somebody to lead.
Yeah, and that's known only to the caucus.
That's only known to the caucus. Yeah, so it was my expectation that as team members, especially for him, who has been perhaps a veteran also of the team, should have respected the position of the caucus, and then we move on. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I respect it, and I'm hopeful that.
So you regretted that the only way to settle this is to go into elections. Actually, and not consensus. That was the desire of everyone.
Well, it's a consensus because the greater caucus, agreed that I have to lead. So, that for me, that's the consensus.
What do you make of criticisms? Because they told us that they were not, at least those who associated themselves to a press release from the chemo campaigns, that they were not consulted by the caucus that you're talking about in the decision to choose you as the caucus's candidates. They said they weren't consulted. And 6 of them, the regions, associated themselves with that press release to say that they endorsed Chemo Cisse, that they were not consulted by the caucus that you're talking about. What's your reaction to that?
Well, that will be very strange.
Well, that's what they said.
Yes.
And they even issued a statement. You saw that.
But still, I stand by my statement that it is a strange one, because I know that a lot of consultations has happened prior to the caucus coming up with their position on the matter. And if you look at the time lapse, will show you that there has been activities in the background on this matter. And of course, the RFAs are very critical in how football is administered in this country. So, I disagree.
Are you not worried that 6 of them associated themselves with a press release that is saying they endorsed Chemo?
In fact, the point is that I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
If that translates to votes, 6 of them is 24 votes.
Mr. Cham, remember, I don't even blame them for that.
Really?
For
coming out in the open and endorsing.
Because the reason I'm saying this is, if Chemo was the one who has been talking to them all this while, in terms of this GLF presidency, and insinuating that he will be the candidate of Team Kaba, that might have already entrenched in their minds.
Okay.
Because they might have got that feeling that, he is the one who is coming because he's the one talking. But until that time that somebody else comes, then we cannot blame them. You understand?
But that meeting happened after it was known that you were endorsed by it.
Yes, I'm coming. What I'm talking about is it has somehow entrenched in them. To change that will require interface with me and my team.
I see.
To show them why it is necessary for them to change their mind, and that is the challenge on me now. I have to do that.
I see.
But also. Looking at the pictures and the statements that I saw, honestly, I'm not even convinced that that is something. Yes, that is. The way and manner in which it was done, I have serious doubts about it.
But they didn't come back to say they are not part of that endorsement. They didn't come back to say that we are not part of it.
No. But in fact, the manner. I said the manner in which it was done. There are a lot of doubts around it.
But they had a meeting, a whole day meeting.
But how was it? How was the statement sent? And look at those pictures. How they came out. I'm not convinced.
But they didn't come back to say no, we are not part of it. So we should assume that they know what they were doing.
Assuming that is still an assumption. And also, is he an RFA president speaking on behalf of the RFA?
Yeah. Regional Football Association for others outside.
Yes. The president can say this.
Yes.
But does it necessarily resonate to the position of the RFA? That is something that must be tested. So, as far as I'm
and again, there are going to be 4 delegates in the elections, each of them with a vote.
Yeah. So
the president saying that I am here does not mean that the rest of the people are also there.
Absolutely. I mean, because people, in that executive, people are voted into that executive, and they have their minds, and they are independent. They have to understand what is good, for their RFAs or not. So, if, for instance, somebody is compromised somehow, I'm not saying that's what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's on board. Yeah, but the onus is now on us to be able to reach out to, the RFA. We know that we have a very strong relationship with the RFAs. Very strong.
You yourself or the team?
This is a team. Yeah, we have. You see, I told you.
But you can't discredit the criticism that you're going to be a continuation of Team Kaba.
No.
I mean, you don't accept that. You said you will come with your fresh mandate, fresh idea, independent decisions. But then the fact that you are put up by Team Kaba suggests that you are likely to carry on Team Kaba policies.
Good one. I like your choice of words. Likely. Likelihood.
Yeah,
That's a likelihood. Yeah. But I can confirm to you that I am coming with my own initiatives, with my team.
I see.
I am part of the team. Does not necessarily mean that
you're going to be
exactly doing how they are doing things.
I
mean, that's my...
Yes, a president can have a successor who have different policies.
That is it.
Because different realities come at different times.
Exactly. And I know that, the team also knows the type of person who I am. By virtue of, I said it, by virtue of my experience, I am not a newcomer in that boardroom, and I'm not a newcomer in Gambian football.
But people said you have a character, a very reserved, quiet, nice, but not the combative character. So you will have to some point rely on the people who back you to do the work for you. I mean, you get Kababajo running around the regions, or Bakari Jammeh running around the clubs. And because Musa Jammeh is so way laid back, so nice, a gentleman, doesn't want to hurt anybody. So if that happens, people will justify to think that you are put up by Kaba to continue. So how do you react to those guys?
That is how some of them are seeing me from a distance. Yeah, but the people who really know me, who have worked closely with me, knows that I don't just take things for granted. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I cannot see myself heading that executive and be having a de facto leader elsewhere. That can never happen.
I see.
So, yes, the person that you see nice is in fact, a fair description, because when I come to those executive committee meetings, I'm in uniform and the like. I know I'm in the midst of civilians. I have to, try to, adapt so much. I don't want a situation where I also come and they say he's trying to show he's a soldier. He's this. No.
Yeah, no.
But my position
is in your nature.
Yeah.
Even at home, you're the person who's Mr. Nice.
No. Yeah, I can be nice, but not to compromise rules and procedures. I rule based on rule base. Things have to be in line with how they should be. By the fact that I am a finance man, and also in a leadership position, we know how important it is to comply with the rules and regulations. Anything that we do all boils down to compliance.
I was going to raise this issue because people often misconceive the lack of home matches in the Gambia. They blame it on the GFF entirely, when actually we know the ground, the Independence Stadium, is run by government. And how to call it, if it is not developed, then that, responsibility or blame for that rests mostly on government and not the GFF. But people still believe that since the GFF has somebody in the government in terms of the in terms of administration of the stadium, why do you think it was impossible for the GFF's role or presence or guidelines, CAF guidelines, because CAF deals with GFF and not the ministry, FIFA deals with GFF and not the ministry. Why is it not that are people right in associating or disproportionating the blame for the stadium on the GFF, even though from a distance that seems to be unfair because GFF is not responsible for the stadium? How are you going to manage this? Because GFF may not like to hurt the government. I have often said to GFF, you know what? Why don't you come out and say, look, you know what? The stadium is not entirely our problem. We may have a bad reputation, yes, but at least on this one, it's not our fault. But then the GFF would not like to come and be confrontational with the government to explain their side. And then people will blame them along for the woes of the stadium. How are you balancing these things?
Yeah, Mr. Cham, this is a very difficult one.
Yeah, even for somebody who is looking for the money, you can stand and look at the government and say, we cannot get this.
It's a difficult one.
Why?
Government, one of our main partners. Yes, and we have to build a very strong relationship with them to be able to move football.
Yes.
I stated earlier that 40% of the funding of the national team from records has been funded by the government. And because of that alone, we have seen a monumental progress in our national team activities. That gave us 2 AFCONs.
2 appearances in AFCON. Unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
Good.
Even to a quarterfinal.
Up to a quarterfinal. So what you don't want to see is to have a fractious relationship between.
But even at the point of taking the blame for something that you are entirely responsible.
Not really taking the blame. It for me.
You didn't have people saying the GFF is this, that. We don't play at home. We don't play at home. We don't have grounds. GFF spoiled. Squandered all the monies.
I understand.
Nobody could come out and say, you know what? Okay, fine. As far as the stadium is concerned, this and this and this are government responsibilities.
No, I understand.
Yes.
It has to do a lot with sensitization, and what the GFF has done. If you look at it, they have a weekly, radio program that has to do, informing the public about GFF activities.
Yes.
And in most of those programs, they discuss
about Wednesdays.
Yes, they discuss and inform the public about, the roles of the various stakeholders, even including government. They have been stating it many times that the role of government, one of the main roles of government in modern football is infrastructural development. They are responsible of that. It's government and the local government. If we have a stadium that government is really struggling with to get it up to the CAF standards, we know it's a problem in terms of financing. Yeah, it has a lot to do with that. And as a country, we know what we are also going through, looking at the competing interests. What we have to do is to increase that level of communication between us and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. In that way, particularly when it comes to football infrastructure, the stadium, for instance, maybe the expertise of the GFF could have been leveraged to a point that some of the delays, might have been, avoided. Could have been avoided. Yes. So it's a matter of, enhancing, reinforcing what is there.
But there are other scenarios where some national member associations, let's say federations across the region, have been able to manage to build standard stadia from the little resources they have. Some national football federations. I mean, if you like Cape Verde, Mauritania, you see they've been able to, build stadiums, infrastructure from the monies that they get from the same source that the GFF gets.
Yeah, look.
But the GFF have not been able to do that. Will you be able to do that when you come to
point of concern.
Yeah.
Cape Verde that you are taking as is it Cape Verde or Mauritania?
Cape Verde, Mauritania. We've seen that they build standard facilities from monies they get from football, maybe from the same source as you get, or maybe they have funding domestically. It's all possible. But through their initiatives, the member associations have been able to put up structures, decent ones. Why couldn't the Gambia do that?
Okay, Mr. Cham, it's very difficult to compare, member associations. We really have to understand how those associations are funded. You see, Mauritania, for example, is one of those, countries who are, directly funded by government in terms of the operations of the MA.
They don't have FIFA funding?
What that does is, if your operational activities are even budgeted for by government.
By government?
Yes, they have. Now, what that it gives you the leverage to use now the funds given to you by FIFA. To do your projects. But here you are in a situation where you don't have that.
I see.
To the point that even what is meant for FIFA projects, you have to divert some
to national
teams. So that is difficult to compare countries until you know those details. Then you will be blaming somebody for something that is not responsible unfairly. So I believe that.
So you have a big job. You have a big job to do if you are elected in August. To take care of this thing. You think Musa Jammeh is the capable hand to address all these things?
I believe
carrying the aspirations of the country.
I believe I can do that. If you look at my background, like I said, I have been working closely with government for many years. By virtue of my appointment, I've been able to build that relationship with top government officials, even on matters bordering with budgets and the like. So. For me, it's going to be easy to relate, with government functionaries as to how they can be supportive, of the GFF. I should be able to know how to come up with programs that will be appealing, to government, so that we can move our football to where we want it to. So, I have my ideas, I have my initiatives, and. Being somebody who is not a stranger to them, I think will ease things, on both sides. Not to say that, anything that government does, I will just be, carrying along with them.
You will be bold enough to stand the government and say, well, you should be able to, you should do this. I mean, you will not be like a diplomat type and wouldn't be assertive.
No, I will, of course, I will be professional. What the least they expect of me is to be professional. I should know how to present my case.
Did you hear the rumor that the government might be rooting for Sadibou Kamazo?
Okay.
You had the rumor.
Yeah.
Did you see the activities of government officials that they might be siding with Sadibou Kamazo?
It's still a might.
But you had the rumor.
Yes, I heard somebody. Yes.
You see government officials identifying themselves with his campaign.
No.
You haven't seen the last press conference he had.
I have not seen that.
Actually, so you don't watch your opponents?
I do, but I'm not too focused.
The unveiling of the manifesto, you were not there, the launch?
Yes, I watched that one.
You didn't see any suspicion that government is siding with it, with Sadibou's campaign?
The indication, the only government official I saw one,
one or two.
Because of the passing. Yeah,
one or two. You don't want to name them.
Yes,
but you had this strong rumor that government prefers Sadibou campaign.
I don't think government is too professional.
I put this to Sadibou. We said, well, maybe like-minded people. It might be a case of like-minded people, but not necessarily government coming all out to say our choice is Sadibou.
Of course. I know government is too professional to, in an election like this to say, we are, rooting.
But they could do it behind the scenes.
I think they will not even do that because...
You don't want to address that, or you are not sufficiently informed that they probably might like Sadibou Kamaso?
I don't think. I don't think they might like Sadibou Kamaso because I believe that there are better options.
But Sadibou's message seems to resonate a lot with a lot of people. They believe he is the one who has modern football running ideas and techniques. A lot of people outside the GFF tend to admire him.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing to write or talk about things.
Yes.
But when it comes to their implementation, it matters most. It's another thing. If you want to talk or if you want to believe in Musa Jammeh also, look at the track record of Musa Jammeh in terms of football. If Musa Jammeh cannot, develop a team from grassroots up to where it is, if Musa Jammeh cannot be part of the administration of a first division club, who are able to be in first division for 2 decades or there and won 2 Champions Leagues through the support of his management. Now you want to compare him with somebody who has not gotten even a quarter of that kind of quality. I mean, that's amazing. So let's not be carried away by this, creative stuff of writing. This is what I can do. Also, let's hold those people.
He promised to give 2 million to the clubs.
He
promised to give millions, so the clubs will get their share of the monies that come from the MA to the federation.
I don't know about the body for my first question.
He promised about 1.2 million.
No, the point is
plow back to the clubs and to the stakeholders.
Localize it first.
Capacitize the regions. He promised a lot.
I'm saying, Mr. Chan,
will you give?
Let's check. Let's look at him. What has he done at his club level first? We have to hold people responsible at that level first.
I see.
Then we will know who is this person who is promising this and that. That's why we start.
Okay.
Let me just put it this way. If somebody cannot even build, a hut, now he is promising you a story building.
So you are dismissing the campaign.
I'm not dismissing
just
it.
for the eye.
No, I'm not dismissing it. I am,
I'd say a lot of people seem to resonate with his message. A lot of people admire him and think he is the right person with modern ideas to modernize.
Again, that could be right for now, based on what they have seen. Because mine is not out yet. So even if they resonate with him now,
if yours come out,
I'll allow them to also wait for us. Once mine comes, then they can juxtapose them. Okay, now we have something to compare.
What about Jete? You don't even mention Jete. No, what about Jate's campaign? What do you make of it?
Jete is still a student at the university. I think he's more focused about passing his exams.
Who told you? All right, Colonel Musa Jammeh, what will be your final message?
My message will be let the Gambian people, particularly the stakeholders, use this rare moment to examine the candidates coming for this 2026 elective Congress. Their decision will matter so much in our football, as far as our football development is concerned. If we don't get it right, we may have to wait for another 4 years to correct it. And 4 years in football is quite a long time. So this is a moment for us to be very, very careful and to choose wisely, to consider that our population, about 60% of our population is youthful, between 25 years downwards. That's a big potential as far as football is concerned. So we have to choose wisely for this group of people. Here we have 3 or 4 people vying for the positions. Please let them take their time and choose wisely. I remember, Mr. Cham, when Kaba was coming, the doubters even asked, who is he in football? Maybe you are one of them.
They said he's a soldier.
Yes, they say he's a soldier, but who is he in football? We have not known him in football. And one of the main criticisms about leadership at Football House has always been the person, they didn't play football, he didn't do this, he didn't do that and that.
And you are different from that.
But yeah, we have taken all our time, looked at things critically, and weighed in our options. And here we are. I think this is a moment for us.
Nobody would say you have not played football, or you would.
Let's take.
But at least they will say you are a soldier. Some people are just averse to the name soldier. So they will say, another soldier?
That's a rare opportunity. But Kaba came as a soldier background. But he has been, the most successful.
At least he was a former soldier. So to the critics, you are a serving soldier. Maybe you are even more problematic.
No, that will even make it better, because we cannot disagree that he's the most successcul, president.
In terms of achievements and the results.
No matter what, in over any lens you put it, aggregate wise.
Most people will disagree with that. You have seen disagreements all over.
No.
But intangible ones. Intangible achievements.
We don't have to disagree with that. It's only the distractors who will disagree with that. The facts are there.
Absolutely.
There are things that we cannot disagree. The minor ones we cannot.
Two Cup of Nations appearance alone goes a lot to say. It's never happened before.
Well,
So even that is enough of an achievement.
Yeah. So let's choose wisely. And on a final note, I want to thank you most profoundly.
Oh yeah, you are always welcome here.
Yeah, for giving me this platform to come and interface with the public, particularly the stakeholders.
Yeah. Finally, would you be happy to take part in the debates? The journalists. We, the sports journalists, want to organize a debate between the presidential aspirants. Would you make yourself available?
Well, when the time comes, we will. You will
or we will? You are no. You?
Yes. I am not. I am part of a team.
You still Team Kaba? You told me.
I'm team now.
You told me recently that you will make your own decisions. So
no.
So you are saying we.
Yes. Yeah. No. Don't forget, Mr. Cham, that yes, as a passion is one thing, but you belong. I cannot always sit and say me. No, we are team players. Otherwise it will not be the best, because being president does not necessarily mean that you are responsible of everything.
Yeah,
we belong. So since this is a football matter, which is of public interest, we will see how it goes, but. I think it should be okay.
Should be okay with you to take part in the presidential debate?
It depends.
Oh, okay.
If we are required to, but I also know that.
It is just, you talk about governance. You talk about how governance. The sports journalists think that it will make people to make good choices when you appear before the public and state your. Answering questions, similar questions.
We'll do our
best.
The same table. We'll do our best. About it. We want to keep a very, cordial relationship. My administrator will be very open to the media.
Okay.
Knowing that, in football particularly, the media is one of our main.
Maybe you start that by taking part, by honoring the invitation to take part. That's the best way to start.
To start with.
The relations with the media.
Okay, anyway, that's fine. I'm so grateful.
Colonel, thank you very much. I cannot thank you more. And you are always welcome here. All right?
Yes,
and I look forward to the unveiling of your manifesto.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the program. Yeah, no, but we are still on air. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Jah.
Yeah.
Jah Oil ñoom ñoo jiitu si wàllum jaay essence si biir réew mi te ñu def ko warugal pour kontaan loo suñu client yi boroom moto yi ak driver yi seen jaaxare jeex na léegi pour am essence bu baax ak njëg bu yomba lii sax moo tax ñu amal leen banxaas fépp si biir réew mi pour essence bu baax bu set benn place rek la muy Jah Oil soo soxlae essence bu set essence bu baax gasoil wala kérosine naa la wax ne Jah Oil rek mooy jëmukaay ga doxantul rek si bépp banxaasi Jah Oil nga am si bànneex ak Jah Oil seen bànneex mooy suñ taxawaay moo tax ñu amoon leen banxaas bépp si biir réew mi nim gën a yombee pour yow ak suñ liggéeykat yu xarañ yi naa la won ne mbégte rek nga see jël pour am essence bu baax pour say machine fenn place rek la mooy sa Jah Oil ak Jah Oil bànneex kese la moo tax sax suñ station si nekk ca Costa Road ak Banjul wàññil nañ leen njëgi essence bi foofu noonu pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call si 770-8080 322-9070 714-7273 wala 787-1321 Jah Oil, the pride of the nation.
Traveling has never been this simple in the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSA depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or up-country routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruce B opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada
ke mbijan aganya
albaka
mbaka important
yo nga transfer la sto
ya transfer la
ha code nyinji
okay nsila id soto
sa soto sorry agada
mbijan bro
albaka
mbaka
bara alla service o tariaka
mbare
mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka
jannom yona forest de bureau gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere birin koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong labe
56 branches mola soto gambia jam
ha
gambia kono anin gambia bantala bankol nko kodo kiya bere kodo sifa fo